You don't need all this Lancer stuff.
Nope. I mean, did you just start eating, Lumpy? Or are you, like, finishing up? Because we can wait a minute if you're just finishing up.
Oh, I can unmute to talk, but I just don't want crunching to go through the mic. Like, I'm here. Oh.
Hearing this might be a good chance for me to actually switch on my laundry.
No, I'm here. Hello, Peyton? Hi, hello?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Absolutely no laundry switching for you.
No.
I've never switched laundry in my life, and I don't intend to start now. I just soak it and then take it out.
Well, I do. I'll be right back.
Yep. Oh, right, I don't have to open up the thing. I can
This is
just...
surprising because Johnny didn't even try to kill the frog. Also,
That was a
like,
deal.
yeah,
News to Johnny. Thought it was a frog.
also that like fucking made the Foundry a little weird when you started typing and I was moving at the same time. Like trying to move my camera in two directions at once.
I can, I think, shut that feature off so it doesn't, like, drag you over to the person talking. Yeah. I can also actually shut off chat bubbles, too.
But we ain't gonna do that.
I mean, no, we barely use them, so. Actually, don't know. Apparently they have an emote thing, too. In some ways, I kind of wish they did have a, like, similar thing to Roll20 where they have all of the commands, some of the commands at least, like, attached with their button combinations. Chat commands are the exception to that, but like a lot of their drawing and whatnot, it literally tells you, hey, if you want to connect it to a grid, hold down this button.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't take too long to figure it out, but it's just, especially after drawing and whatnot maps for Roll20 for so long, my mind immediately goes, hey, you should hit the Alt key so you can continue sticking to the thing. And in Foundry, it's like, no, that's not how it works. Different thing here.
I keep on hitting, like, picking up my token and then pressing right click in Foundry and not getting what I want to happen happening.
Although I must admit, I'm getting far too used to being able to double click a token and have it pop the character sheet up. Which
Like
you can't do in Roll20.
Oh, I didn't even know that happens. Or you see that in this.
It's just otherwise I have to go over, open the freaking actors directory, and then find where the token is, or where the character sheet is. And for Foundry, I can literally just click on the token twice, and it pops the character sheet up. And that doesn't work in Roll20. It just opens up the token menu. Which I did several times on Tuesday, trying to open up Kalendar's character sheet and having it be like, "Here you go, token interface." Like, I don't need the token interface. I need the dice roll. Oh. Just want to see what this looks like. Aw, they don't have any special setup except for the text bubble. The text bubble looks like it has a little bit of a italic. Since we don't do as much talking with the chat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This was
What?
if this was Jake's game, we'd be bouncing all over the places. People.
I would turn it off if there was this much talking. I hate to tell you. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck the Wild Rift thing is for League. Is it just League but mobile? Is that
Yeah, pretty
literally
much.
the whole deal?
Yeah.
Huh.
I say yeah as if I know.
You've updated your cell phone at this point, haven't you? To at least have a touch screen.
I have a phone with a touch screen. Does that count?
Yes, I guess it counts.
It's a little bit shattered though.
It's probably not doing so well then.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's
I just need Gouvet's. Which at some point my mind will remember is Gouvet and always say that and not Eve, even though I got way more used to that.
It's crazy how we have a party full of people that pronounce Payton's character's name differently. Gouvet, Geve, and Gouvet.
Yep. I think that's just because it's Payton's character name, which usually devolves into single character or one or two characters, and then that's it.
good.
Clara sweats nervously in the distance. K.
It was almost K.
Monka.
Mm.
Beep beep.
Sorry, I was just checking if OBS was recording my microphone.
Oh. Well, now you can test to record your microphone and my beeps.
Yeah,
See?
just in case
Wow, Jake,
everyone
you're
else
so
talking.
helpful. What if it was just me though? Like you were only recording yourself and me. That arguably be like worse than just yourself being recorded.
Mm,
Because like occasionally parts of the recording would make sense.
wouldn't
But
that
for
be
the
better?
most part,
'Cause at least that's funny.
it's just like two people. Yeah, I'm just talking in a character voice to nobody. People would think I'm fucking mental.
Live footage of my friend losing his mind. It's happening before our eyes.
Yep.
If I ever wanted to introduce someone to D&D, I would link that video. This is what it is like.
What does Mo escape?
Himself, herself. Fuck.
Mhm. Escapes into the void. All right, I'm gonna go grab something and then we can get started.
Alright.
Oh my god. Mitchell constantly making us late. He does it again. What the fuck?
I mean, do you want to run it so I can go do it?
Fuck yeah, let's
I don't
go.
even need to show up.
All right, so does anyone want to start us off with a recap of what happened last week?
Guys, do
No.
that. I'll be right back.
Well, when the Nazis invaded.
Mm-hmm. So you awaken in the middle of the night in your camp to a whole bunch of gray-clad, helmeted humans goose stepping right through.
Mhm.
Roll initiative.
It's the question: is Molumpus still in our camp or no?
You don't see him. He must have vanished in the night.
My God, Molumpus turned into a man.
What's my lumpus?
Hello?
He wasn't in that
You were-
campaign, Theo.
No, he was.
He was. He was
Was
my
he?
he was my nephew.
Oh my
What?
God, he was in the campaign before I was, and he left.
Hmm.
When was this?
This
Jesus
Chase's
campaign.
old one.
Chase's campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah, Theo is Molumpus Grumpus,
I'm not remembering this. What did I play, Theo?
who had the great character trait of wanting to eat people's faces.
I believe you were Lumpus Grumpus.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Can we just say how that what a great finale to a campaign that was? Where at the very end it's like everyone we're all celebrating, like, oh, it was really nice, it was like wholesome, and then Molumpus like I bite the bad guy's dead body's face to start eating it. I'm just like, you know what? You earned that.
Ordinarily, I'd have an issue, but you got me on a good day.
It's like because I could like picture it like from like a movie where it's just like we're all celebrating and then it just like goes crunch and we all look over and just shows Molumpus eating a face and just starts rolling credits.
80s freeze frame.
Oh God.
I think you were like a storm cleric or something.
I don't even
War
remember.
cleric.
I thought you were a death cleric.
No, I was a death cleric. I think Lumpy was like a storm.
Oh,
cleric
okay,
or something.
Who else was in that campaign?
Howdy.
Payton was a Kensei monk.
Not that time, I don't think, actually. Like, I was just a normal monk.
Oh.
I was lay monk. Actually, I didn't even think I had a class, not class, subclass at that point. I think it was too early.
Mm.
All right, I have returned.
All I know is I showed up to that campaign. I was like, all right, this is gonna be great, and it was eerily quiet.
Yeah, so Molumpus is missing, and the Nazis are goose-stepping through camp.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is
I got-
going
I
on?
don't see anyone having rolled initiative, and it's starting to make me concerned that you guys aren't taking this seriously.
Well,
No,
if
Lumpy,
you
we're gonna try to
remember,
join.
I had
them.
already signed a non-aggression pact with Nazis 4 sessions ago. If you took
Alright.
notes,
Remember,
Bastard.
Egypt is not involved in the war.
this is
This is
also
true.
true.
Besides, my character's still in the fucking
Egypt's
hospital.
a neutral party.
He's been knocked out 3 times in this hospital, or 2 times. Sorry. 2
The
times, and then it's
fucking
gonna
player
blow up.
that's supposed to rescue him isn't here.
Leo.
Never trust Leo with a fucking story beat. It will only get you in trouble.
Well, the thing is, it's not like I even trusted him. He just went there at the end of my session, and it was just like, just some fucking bullshit happened, and it's like, well, this screws me over, I guess.
Yeah.
I appear to have like half my spells used. So whatever we did involved doing that. That's my recap.
I will be honest. Normally, I'm pretty good at remembering what happened. I cannot, for the life of me, think about what happened.
Did we miss a week? I feel like it feels
No,
like it's been so long.
No, I'm
talked
telling you,
about it.
Theo.
We
it
missed a
feels
week
like
2
that-
weeks ago, I believe, but not this.
Yeah,
week.
we missed a week a couple weeks back, but not. We definitely played last week.
Yeah, I talked to my
Yeah,
sword.
because 2 weeks
Yeah,
back we
Lumpy
had
talked to his sword.
avarice. So we had
Right, we had we got into a little bit of a stubborn off against that undead guy. We found that barn.
yes.
That's about all I remember. The stubborn off in the crypt and the barn.
Oh,
yes,
right, we
yes.
investigated a house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
We
right.
found-
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You know the stubborn off in the barn? I was like, oh, that must have been an interesting avarice game. Anyway, there was the house with the bloody clothes.
Yeah. No, Theo, the reason I feel like it feels like it's been so long for this campaign for us is because think about what's happened in the meantime, just in D&D wise. Death, first off, the TPK and Leos.
I still
in my-
love that happened again.
What the fuck?
Wait, Peyton, did you not hear about the Leo TPK?
When did
I
it
didn't
happen?
hear everything about it, but I did
Okay,
hear
okay.
about the result.
All right, I
'Cause
actually
I haven't heard about it at all.
no, it's comedy gold. It's comedy gold. Because
Mhm.
we're
Leo
fighting a boss.
DMing at its finest.
We're
Mhm.
fighting a boss. We're in the middle of a combat. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this boss fight kind of well balanced because like it was a tough fight. We were running out of resources. We were getting close to death. We were probably gonna win. Like it
Alright.
was like we had it pretty much in the bag. But then close to the end of the fight, Leo was like, okay, something just came up. It's top of the round. We're gonna pick this up next week. Okay, well, kind of weird, but whatever. Whatever. You know, it's Leo. Sometimes he gets pulled away and can't come back, and
Right.
it's like, all right.
You're gonna come back next week, and it's gonna be hard buffed, and it's gonna kick your shit.
Well, so the thing is, he then had to cancel like the next 2 weeks. So we had this boss fight waiting for us for 3 weeks.
That's a long boss fight.
3 weeks, and we come back, and I had a good chunk of health as a paladin, and I had 2 spell slots left, a second level and a first level.
Mhm.
Kyron had literally 1 health and like pretty much no resources left. Chase had like a third level spell slot left pretty much and like a couple first levels, and he was decently low. Ham was running out of spell slots and had like 1 HP left pretty much.
Mhm.
So like with good rolls, the boss we were fighting could have beaten us because it was like this caster.
Mhm.
But anyway, we managed to defeat it. After it downs me and I get like healed back up, so now I'm sitting on 4 health as well. So and it did like 30 damage to Chase as well before going down. So we're all like single digit HP. And we kill the boss, and he goes, and then oozing out of the body, so a chaos
Jesus
elemental
Christ.
appears, and we're like, okay, we'll try to get it. And so I go first against the chaos elemental, and I attack it
Mhm.
twice, and I crit once and hit once. And in the 2 attacks, I deal 85 damage total.
Mm.
And we're like, all right, how's its tank looking? And he's like, it's about half. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's winnable. But then it starts glowing, and if you're within 5 feet of it at the start of your turn, no save, you take 2d10 damage.
Jesus Christ.
And so it's Kyron's turn, and he just gets knocked out by it because it immediately hits him to the ground with the AoE thing. And on its turn, he goes, oh, by the way, it's got a recharge move. And it uses a move that has a 30-foot radius. And so Chase is 30 feet away from...
damage.
It wasn't that much, to be fair. It was like, I think it was 4d10 or 5d10 damage.
Hmm.
That's still.
But Chase,
what level
Chase
are you?
is 30 feet... we were level 6. Chase was
Mm.
30 feet away, and Ham was on the other side of it, also 30 feet away, so it just blew up and downed both of them. And so it literally, like, I did 85 damage in a single round, and it still was not even close. The boss fight was just...
Yeah, this is sounding like first campaign Jake
It was
balancing.
not even
fuck?
close. It was so bad. Oh my god, it was so funny though, because the entire thing took maybe an hour, so we waited 3 weeks just to get TPK'd in 1 hour. Oh, it was so funny. Oh god. Good times. Good times. Theo lasted the longest.
Hmm.
Big Bobo was hard to kill.
That's actually not true. We did a roll off and Ham lasted the longest.
I meant just staying conscious.
Oh. That's also not true. I got downed by the big AoE fireball.
Oh, did you? I thought you didn't.
Yeah, I think I. Yeah.
That means you got downed at the same time as everyone else, with the exception of me and Kyron, who got downed by its AoE bullshit next to it.
Because I ran in front of Ham and then took the dodge action, and I thought I was out of like its reach because I disengaged.
Mhm.
Oh
right. Then it just like punched
blew
you.
up.
Then there was that point where Chase tried to move away, and Leo's like, actually, he has a range of 15 feet away from him. And it's like, yeah, right, that's a melee attack. He's like, yep. It's like, ah, shit.
Back in the old days, that would not be all that surprising for big creatures.
Yeah. Back in the old days, it's like, yep, 15 feet melee attack.
Well,
Yep.
the problem was, it was also very unclear what this thing was. Like, Theo, remember when he put that picture on the map?
Yeah, it was.
And he said,
like,
it's that thing in the middle. And I looked at the middle, and it was just like, there was just a light in the middle. And I was like,
yeah.
the light? Is that all it is? I have no idea what it was meant to be, because it was like part of like a landscape, and I don't think there was actually meant to be a creature. I think it was just meant to be a landscape, but Leo's like, it's a
Yeah.
creature, and we're like, huh?
Maybe
Okay.
it was small and he brought in the whole JPEG.
I will say though, dying in Leo's campaign was lit, because man, my character I was so done with him. But he had an 11 out of 12 on his dick scale, so like I couldn't just like retire him.
Mm.
And every time I crit, it made things a little better.
Your character was that serial killer, right?
No. He
You
was
would-
he was an Oathbreaker paladin, and he killed very specific people, and they totally deserved it. So it's not serial killing.
I mean, it's almost like he has a type.
Keep that door closed, Slumpy. I
See,
don't
he
wanna
was-
be seen.
He was an Oathbreaker, but he would kill people that followed the religion he used to follow. And also a different religion that was like the opposite of the religion he used to follow. He just hated both sides of it.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, that's definitely still serial killing.
See, the thing is, he was meant to be a character that could be like, he was meant to be a character that like had like a pull towards being good and like have like a redemption arc, you know? Like that's what I had planned for him. But then the party turned out to just be a bunch of turbo assholes plus Hector. Hector was Chase's character, and to say he was indifferent would be an understatement. My man would just sit there and be like, "Man, you're making me work. I gotta bury this guy now." And it's like, I think Leo's terror the first session he realized like just how we were all just horrible people was the best. He had bandits attack our camp,
We just
and
started
they
eating them.
they started to like run away after they realized they would think, and we just started like in character like screaming like, "None of them shall live! Kill them all!"
No, Leo asked me for advice. He's like, I want to put people in a moral quandary, but they have none.
Make them
Like-
have to do something good for
That's-
a reward. There's the
I-
moral quandary.
I
That
had
was what I
some
said, to be
morals,
fair.
which was pretty much like my character still had a soft spot for like children. He'd protect them no matter what. But that was it. After that, it was just assholism.
Assholism.
Kyron and I's characters got along really well because we were both just like neutral evil pieces of shit.
I am become bastard.
We encountered this this like traveling trio of like 3 brothers on the path in the middle of the night while everyone else in our camp was asleep, and we started talking to them, and they turned out to be like religious, and one of them hadn't decided what religion he wanted to follow yet. One of them was of like the neutral god, which was like my character was finance, and one of them was with the god my character used to follow. And so I tricked him into looking at this lantern that I could activate to suck people's souls into it. And so I just murdered him in front of his brothers. And Kyron's character was there and is like, "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. That was sick." And I was like, "Hell yeah, it was." Good times, good times. That was the campaign where Theo's first character got killed by 3 will-o-wisps because he encountered them on his own.
I think I was there for that session, weirdly.
Yeah, you were. You were listening in.
We were playing games and Leo was like, come on in. And I was like, all right. And I just sat there quietly while Theo got himself murdered.
Well, the fucked up part was Theo's character would follow like what Ham said because he called Ham's character the commander. And Theo's character noticed something, pointed out, and Ham's character went, "Yeah, go check it out." Just sent him off alone, and Theo just got killed. And Ham's character didn't even bother to go check on him after he sent it. It was like till the morning came, and our character's like, where's Oit?" Sam's like, "I sent him out to scout, and we found this dead body." Then Ham's character died. Which was Ham's character's death was really funny though, because he was up 2-0 on his death saves, and I went, "Don't worry, Ham. No one's ever blown a 2-0 lead on death saves." Then he rolled like a 5 and then a 1. It was just instant.
Nobody's ever blown a 2-0 lead on a death save. And other lies you can tell yourself.
Oh god. All right, sorry, that was getting off track, but
You could say
Let's
that.
get on track. Lumpy
Hmm.
in Leo's campaign.
Mm-hmm. What about it?
Lumpy. So what are the Nazis doing?
Well, right now they're just goose stepping by. They don't seem to have noticed your camp.
Oh, okay.
So we were supposed to be rolling initiative because they were marching through our camp or goose stepping through our camp.
Actually, did you have a fire lit? I don't recall.
Well, we didn't, but then this gnome came and lit one for us.
Right.
But it's fine
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
also just unlit it.
No, you don't have one lit yet. But here is the gnome. How do you? How do you?
I have a
Kill the
riddle
gnome.
for you. No, please. That was great because I already had a character trait where I was like, my character would sleep through anything. And so he showed up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a heavy sleeper. I would just be sleeping through this. And so then when he did the full like time thing, I woke up and Dylan was like, yeah, you feel like you slept too much. I'm like, what?
I remember that.
Get a level of exhaustion.
He asks you a money riddle, and it's like, you get it right. All right, here's the money. He asks you a time riddle, and you get it wrong. He's like, I'm just gonna fast forward time by a day. And we're like, how does that work? Are we frozen in place while things happen? He's like, no, you're just here, but it's tomorrow now. You just keep sleeping if you're asleep, and if you're awake, I guess you just do nothing.
That shit was so stupid.
You know, like, what if we get like stabbed to death? Well, like, what? Does he have like a clock of like the plot line that he moves up a day, or is this just like a non-issue? It was very strange.
That it was.
If only Peyton was in that campaign.
It would have been much shorter.
I would have paid good. I would
was
have
about
paid
to
good
say
money.
either Peyton
to
would
see
not
that.
have lasted very long in that campaign, or it wouldn't. The campaign would not have lasted very long.
I feel like even for
didn't
Peyton,
on
I feel like the
film.
morbid
Showed up for
curiosity,
even fewer sessions.
the morbid curiosity really kept most of us
Oh
going
my
in that
God.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Dylan was running it and Stormy would continue to not show up, and then we were like, "Is she in the campaign, Dylan?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's in it." And then Kyron had the audacity to ask Stormy, "Stormy, are you still in this campaign?" And she was like, "I can't believe Kyron was so fucking mean to me. That piece of shit." I
My
swear.
favorite was definitely the time when she was playing a game of Magic with Leo, who was also in the campaign. And so we're like, yeah, they're just finishing that Magic game up, and then we'll start. Like Dylan said that. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Because, you know, I play League games 15 minutes before the sessions start. Like, I'm not going to judge people for that.
Yeah.
And so Leo joins the call, and we're like, he's like, yep, game's over. I'm ready to go. No Stormy. Wait for a bit. Still no Stormy. So I asked Dylan, like, hey, is Stormy coming? He goes, yeah, I think so. I think she's just finishing up her Magic game. And he looks at Discord. Looks at Leo, and I went, Leo, did you like lose early or something, or did the game end? And he went, no, the game ended. Dylan's like, all right, whatever. We'll just start, and she'll show up in a few minutes. I'm sure of it. Because he didn't want to keep us waiting, because he doesn't want to keep everyone waiting, which is reasonable. So we start, and after like a couple minutes, we reach like a little like lull, and I'm like, Dylan, what is Stormy doing? Is she coming or what? And he just goes, I don't know. I'm like, what? And we later learned that she just didn't join because she wanted to play Magic with Eric instead of showing up to her husband's first D&D game.
Christ.
Oh my god. She's like, I gotta join the campaign. Then she hits people with yeah, I don't really feel like playing D&D right now.
Which is fair enough, but like every week.
Yeah, it was every week. And when she did show up, it was like she did. Stormy was bizarre in that campaign in particular.
How dare you cut down a tree for firewood to light a fire, you piece
Well,
of
see,
shit.
no, the thing is, Lumpy, I'm okay with that. That's a character trait to have. That was
Yeah,
like she
fair
was
enough,
talking
fair
about like,
enough.
you know what, that's a character. That's an interesting
yeah,
character
yeah.
trait to have. Like you only want to take what like is naturally given from the trees and not like harm them. Like
Mhm.
sure, go for it. The problem was I think that was the only bit of roleplay she did the entire in any of the sessions she showed up. Otherwise, she would just sit in the shade quietly. That was it. That was the character.
Powerful.
Thank Christ Kyron and I both were playing Charisma casters. Oh my god. We were just vibing.
Great birds around.
Yeah.
Hide.
A lot of geese. They're stepping.
Stick with it.
They don't seem to have seen you, but you can hear it through the underbrush that some scout details are on their flank, so you might get spotted soon.
Where did we end session, Mitchell?
Those fools, they don't even know where the punji traps are.
I'll let this joke run for another 4 minutes, and then I'm cutting it off.
You hear a crash and scream as one of the scouts falls into your carefully laid trap. the bamboo shoots piercing right through their feet.
You're fucked.
Laughs in Viet
And
Cong. And they're
Nothing. I was just thinking, like, well, if it pierced their feet, they probably fell down and pierced the rest of their body too.
That entirely depends on the type of punji trap.
yeah, they're not like body length spikes. They're like a couple inches long, but they're coated in feces to guarantee an infection.
Well, what I mean is,
No, mine are
the
coated in
person-
snake venom, actually.
like,
That too.
If someone
Get
steps
fucked, part
on them,
two.
they may well just fall down, like not like onto the ground where there are more spikes.
Oh, like a big pit with like a covering of sticks and leaves and stuff.
Or did you just lay like a singular spike on the ground?
Oh, I was picturing like a maybe pothole in the road sized trap that like you plant your foot in, pierces your foot, immensely disabling, potentially
Nice.
lethal for like because of infection. It prevents you
The
from
good old,
marching
I
on.
lay one caltrop down. This will definitely disable the one person who happens to step on it. You know,
Yeah,
rather
because
than
either you get left behind by your regiment or they just stop for the day. And you require medical attention.
Or you're in a big enough army that you have a backline.
You mean like any actual army? Like, you recognize that people will just get injured on march, right? Like,
Nope,
They've never accounted for this before.
not without help. Doesn't happen.
people only get injured in battle, not on the march. Come on.
this is true. Attrition doesn't exist.
Attrition. What's that? You hear the clatter of them busting out a stretcher. Ah, mein Foot, you hear. Mein Foot.
You're
hide
my
in the
Leben.
ground.
Nice. What do you do, Jake? Payton? Mitchell?
I end this stupid hypothetical.
All right. Let's get on.
The
I look
strongest
down
move of
upon
all.
it, disappointed. So, if you guys are not able to recall, you guys ended back at that farm where the family effectively vanished. After going and figuring out that apparently the girl is probably okay, probably who the hell knows, the weird undead creatures said so.
Hmm.
I trust him implicitly.
And you guys didn't really beat him to death, so you could check. So you kind of have to trust him on it. You have nothing else to go on.
I should have gone invisible.
Yeah, I want to get
snuck
Giga
past him.
haunted though.
Yep. The Norse version of a revenant has more magic. But yeah, you guys, I believe, are getting back on the trail at that point. Well,
I
trail.
believe that's
The imaginary
trail being-
line.
yeah.
Onwards.
Hmm.
Unless we want to loot the house.
No, Johnny wouldn't do that.
I mean, the house didn't have much in it to begin with, so unless you want like ordinary like workman tools or
Oh,
repairing
sick.
farming equipment.
Johnny's right in that.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess that and some carpentry tools, but not a full set.
A single claw hammer. Sick.
God. One day I'll find some nails. This will be so cool.
And you can find nails. You just have to dismantle some of the house or part of the barn.
That's
You guys
true.
released all of the animals, correct? At least all the ones that were trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe so.
So the oxen are wandering around outside, eating grass. But after your detour to go try and track down the child, it has been most of the day, so you guys only get another few hours of travel along your line before the sun starts to dip.
Fair enough.
You guys reach the farm at about, I think, a little before midday.
We can get a little bit of travel in, then camp for the night.
Yeah. You guys basically made it to the thing back at like 1, travel back to the thing at 2, and then etc. You still have some time to travel. Regardless, you don't make it to any other signs of civilization, and kind of move away from farms and the like, even in those few short hours. The sun goes down on the plains.
Did we figure out what, like, is it that the beast just teleported in their home, killed them, and then left?
That's pretty much what it
No
seemed
idea.
like. Kind of hard to tell though.
You guys didn't even find any bodies, so
Do we see any sign of forced entry on the part of
seeing as
this?
the door was still blocked, no.
The door
Moving
was still
out.
blocked, and there was also only one set of footprints, and it was like in the middle of the house.
Maybe the alligator was.
It wasn't even
Very
a set of footprints.
sewer.
It was just one pair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What a mystery. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. We go elsewhere.
The month is going to be ending in the next few days. This is the last part of the last week. This is day 3 of 8. So
Do we have any idea when
2
the next
days
first
before
moon
the
is?
first night. Well, sorry, 3 days because it does fall on the day 1. So the main part of the week ends in 2 days.
Do we have any idea when the next curse moon will be?
Well,
that
potentially
what
I
you
in
literally
those
am
next 2
saying
days.
3 days is the
Oh.
next possibility.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, as a reminder, Mestrem's weekly cycle is whenever there's a curse moon, it always is 8 days. A normal 5-day week plus the 3 moon days at the end of the month. It's actually one of the only consistent times the moons are actually able to be relied upon. True, you don't know which one, but yeah. So you better hope you get somewhere in the next few days, or else you're going to have to find either a tunnel or have Mo help you make one.
Mo can dig us a big hole.
So the weather continues to be kind of drizzly and overcast, but at least it doesn't get cold and snowy.
It's gonna be fun to make a pit in.
Yeah, it's been doing it the last few days. But other than the unpleasant weather, nothing attacks you guys in the night. No travelers as well, because you guys are a little bit away from civilization at the moment. And so eventually the sun comes back up.
Onwards.
And you
Onwards.
follow in the line. Today is as dull as the night was. Lots of tromping through kind of muddy fields. At least a few small trees here and there. Still not very many birds, but
Not very many.
it's not all surprising.
So that you're telling me there are birds.
Yeah, there's a few.
What type?
Mostly these kind of small burrowing things. They don't really hang out in the trees. They hang out in like the long grass.
That wasn't a very good choice, Mitchell. I expected cooler birds.
Well, turns out
Birds and burrowing birds.
Yeah, those aren't even real birds.
it's not real birds. But, unless you guys are going out of your way to try and find something, today is just a long, wet, boring tromp through the fields.
Yeah, definitely be keeping my eyes peeled for obvious shelter.
Mhm.
But I think that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even the trees don't really provide much shelter. They're these little spindly things.
Oyeka always gets nervous close to the ends of months.
Yep.
Which means she's a bit prickly.
What's the worst thing that can happen? I lose all my moral compass?
No, just live in violation of it.
Fuck.
The night is similar. The drizzle just kind of continues, but otherwise is quiet. It's not all that surprising. You guys might remember, but I don't know, that the last week is kind of when people start to buckle down, just on the off chance there is a cursed moon. It's kind of the week of rest, too, in some cases. You try and get all the work done and then get the rest of this week off because there's not a weekend. So that's what they do instead. If you're able to finish all your work in time. Because you can't work outside if you're not cursed. Yep. Night passes uneventfully. The weather continues to hold as it has the last few days.
Hey, Mo, how long do you think it would take you to build a burrow big enough for all of us to rest in overnight?
You want a comfortable burrow?
Well, ideally, but I guess it's not a strict requirement.
2 hours.
All right, that's reassuring.
What's with your voice? Like it got worse recently.
Hmm.
That may just be Theo getting worse.
Look, let's just find a place that we rest in safely.
I agree that would be ideal.
Not underground where the shadows might get you.
I don't want to be
Well, it's not the shadows we're worried about, Mitchell. The shadows are fine. It's what isn't the shadows that we're afraid of.
It's when the fucking cursed moonlight started cheating and just coming closer despite anything else.
It's almost like something uber magical doesn't have to follow the standard rules of nature.
Does a
Because
tent
it's
work
magic. And that's
a
how
tent-
magic works.
Does a tent work against the curse?
No. In fact, it actually is one of the very specific things that people have tested and royally failed. Has to be
It's
a
actually-
physical built building. Tents don't count. So,
Fair enough.
Yep.
I don't have one anyway. I was just curious.
I think only Guve still has hers at this point because no one else bought theirs again. Or bought one in the first place.
Giva, you
My
bought
third tent.
family
Woo.
size, right?
Huh?
You bought a
Family size is in
tent,
the
right?
standard setup of 2-person.
Bitch, I can't carry a fucking family size tent. That shit's heavy.
Did it actually have different
No.
like versions of tents in I think it was technically a 3.0 book, Arms and Equipment Guide. It had a whole bunch of other stuff, but it had also single person tents, which I tended to buy because they were half size, half cost, and for one person. So don't need to worry about other people. Because the standard one for 3.5 was 2-person.
Well, if we don't find
So it's like
the
10
shelter,
pounds.
if we don't find shelter before like day preceding cursed moon, Johnny would ask Mo around midday just to be safe.
Well, keep in mind that the Cursed Moon day, like it's not the night before. It is only the last 3 days that the Cursed or Dull Moon comes out. So this is day 5 of that 8-day week that you're on currently. So this night you're safe. It's the next night you need to be worried.
All right. So around midday tomorrow, if we haven't found shelter, Johnny will be like, "Hey Mo, just to be safe, could you start working on that burrow now?" But that question is asked tomorrow at noon. So just
Under
I'll just
specific
put that in
conditions.
I'll schedule that email to get sent out. It'll ping you tomorrow.
Most scheduled response.
You know what my boss said yesterday? He said, legally, I'm required to respond to all work emails within 2 days. So whenever I receive an email, even if I type a response immediately, I'll schedule it for 47 hours in the future. I was like, oh my god, you madman.
That's fucked up.
Now that's bureaucracy.
I know, I was
That's fucking true, huh?
I was like, that's everything that's wrong with bureaucracy. Holy shit. I will do this as slowly as I'm legally able to. Jesus, what the fuck, man?
So, yep. We wake the day before the first possible first moon day. Oh goddamn! I actually have a name for these. I can't remember freaking what they're called though, off the top of my head. I made up names for those particular days. I'll look it up and figure it out in a minute. But yep. So you guys wake up on, what would this be? 25th of the month of Aluin, to have the weather continue being bad. I mean, at least it's not getting worse, but it's just kind of this consistent, dreary drizzle.
Ideally, we find a cave.
Yeah. The first day of the full moon, Sulbranth, is that. That's what it's called. Or the day of worry.
Yeah, let's look.
So you guys are still traveling through the plains. There are some mountains off. I mean, you can kind of see them. They're like very small, but they're off to the east. But they're like probably several weeks trek in that direction. But
Generally, when the mountains are very small, it means you're not very close to them.
just didn't want to give any false hope of let's go to the mountains, guys. So, you continue walking today, and well, you don't see anything really as far as shelter goes. Even the trees have thinned to basically none. They're only really like scrubs now.
Sick.
No buildings, no hills, really just flat plains land. Perfect for farming, but not great when you're trying to hide.
May I requisition your tent, covering the entrance?
Sure.
Keep in mind, you do still have the entirety of tomorrow to travel as well. Yeah, day 25.
Scheduled
Not 26.
question.
Schedule. Yep. So, as you guys are going, at basically right at the end of today, like as the sun is starting to go down, right at the edge of, not the horizon, it'd probably be too far to get to, but you guys see basically the elements of civilization.
I fucking go.
Mostly small fences, but I mean,
See, I was just
something.
going to fucking figure out where the nearest like significant amount of humans was, and just beeline it towards that.
In the last few days, the like number of humans has actually been fairly small.
Not that surprising, honestly.
Like you once in a while will find small groups, 2, 3, 5, etc. But they're like right at the edge, if not like 4 to 5 miles away from you along the path. Closer to like larger groves of trees and whatnot. And probably other like water sources and whatnot and other things of that nature. But yep. Well, the sun goes down for the last free night of the month. And you guys actually have
Surprise.
visitors tonight.
Surprise! The cursed moons rises. Get fucked,
Funny.
idiot.
Nah, as I said, it's the one consistent thing you can count on. Unless you really freaking mess up your dates. But I have a feeling most people on Methodrum have a good sense for dates. Because otherwise, well... surprise would be the thing that crops up.
Surprise, you're a magician now.
You're a
I
wizard,
mean, if you're
Harry.
cursed, you can stop caring because it doesn't matter. But as long as you're cursed, you're cursed. There isn't any more you can be. Like, you don't get double cursed. That doesn't happen.
Not yet.
Whoa.
No.
God damn. Is this gonna be another watch where Mo sees things that I don't, or what?
It's, it's the rain. It alerts Mo.
Well, freaking hell, guys. Why is Mo the highest roll? You guys are
Welcome to-
slacking.
Because my luck is
Mitchell?
bad.
I have not
Full
rolled above a
stop.
10 on that perception in like 6 weeks.
Thankfully, you don't need to worry about it, as nothing happens during your watch. Same for Gouvet's.
Sick.
And on Johnny's, however, two things happen. One's good. The rain finally decides to stop doing its thing, and it is just calm. The other is a small troop of undead just kind of march near your camp.
My God, I was right on the money.
These are not reformed undead. These are standard undead. They're just skeletons. But
They're
there's
just bad guys.
a
villains.
pretty large number.
The kind that might bite you.
Maybe. They don't seem all that interested in you. They're marching somewhere else. They just kind of are, well, as skeletons, not really good at pathfinding. So they just kind of march within
They
like
suck at
20 feet of your camp.
God.
There's about
20
20 of them.
Based on E. 5e.
What are all
Amateurs.
these numbers?
Hey, you know what? That's my mood when I play Pathfinder.
I was
So.
born and raised in 3.5 and Pathfinder. It's like,
I remember learning about Pathfinder. I was
Magic.
like, "Oh, this is so much nicer."
Yep.
I love the complexity of 3.5.
Yep.
I
The
know that
skeletons,
doesn't
by the way, are not armed. They're definitely not armored. They're just white bones. Well, white, gray, etc. These ones are a little older, so closer to yellow and gray. But rather than swords and bows and the like, these ones are carrying more farming implements. Hoes and, well, what else?
I need to.
Hoes,
Can't believe they
pickaxe.
can't even afford real weapons to kill us with.
welcome back.
Am I cutting out, or?
No, I
that
just
was-
I had really, really bad connection. Everyone was super roboty, so I just quickly relogged.
Okay. So yeah, the skeletons are just going to march on, unless Johnny or Gouvet wants to get up and do something.
Well, clearly someone has something in mind for them, so I'm not going to stop them.
No. These are not dregs, just so you know. These are normal skeletons. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is the necromancer-based variety.
Mhm.
The
Sword dregs, but
well, yeah, but like not
they are
not
just
very,
slightly more intelligent zombies.
eh. Donna doesn't mind undead. They're not bothering me. I'm not bothering them.
Yep, they just walk on by. And after a few more hours, the sun comes up and is actually the sun. It is not cloudy.
Ooh.
Sick.
Fog.
To civilization.
So, following the line, it does lead you through a few of the fields that have where those fences were around you, or were around them. And after you guys walk for a couple hours, you do see a couple of the fields that actually have dregs in them. They're just kind of standing around, seeing as it's like basically winter, so nothing's going to grow right now. But, which, by the way, just for the sake of Johnny knowing things about dregs, is super freaking wasteful.
Yeah.
Because while they are undead and don't really need the flesh that they're blessed with, it does eventually rot. And if nothing else, they smell awful when they've been standing out in the rain for freaking days on end.
Ugh, musty.
But, they're just kind of standing out in the fields, waiting for orders. Once in a while, one will, like, turn its head to look at you guys, but they just kind of have the same blank expression that all dregs seem to have.
Did Dregs take orders from anyone, or specifically their masters? Or like someone they're bound to?
Generally, from what you know, they take orders from who bought them. They have, like, a certain command word that's attached to them. So, if you know the command word, anyone can do it. But, generally, it's the person who knows that. They're like more like magic items in that way.
Alright.
But,
Where's
yep,
the homestead? Because that's definitely unusual.
yeah. These fields just kind of seem to be out in the middle of nowhere. There's no buildings that you can see, at least close by. You didn't pass them, definitely, but it's possible they're further off the line than you guys are currently able to see.
Well, we're sort of in
I'll
the
stand
plains,
on
right?
Johnny's shoulders. That will increase the amount off the line we can see.
Well,
These are
you
the-
don't see any homesteads, and to answer this question that you'll most likely already have, you don't sense any humans nearby either.
Mm.
Like, none at all.
Mm.
Which, based on Arathia's current demographics of most of them are human, seeing as they're basically just leaving property standing out in fields, weird. It's possible it's just a noble who's really freaking wasteful, but
Any gobs?
there's a small group that's kind of at the very, very edge at the moment. They seem to just kind of blink through as you're kind of traveling at the same time they are. And they seem to be traveling in the opposite direction from what you can tell.
I guess the last question is elementals.
You don't sense any in particular.
Oh.
None within range, anyway. So,
From the part
yep.
that there are no humans around, which is odd.
Right.
That does seem a little strange.
Definitely odd considering these fields here. Because they're clearly
Did you
waiting
name
for
your snake,
instructions.
by the way, Peyton?
Spell it.
Did you name the snake?
Yeah, it was Sis.
Right.
Yeah, because the full name was Sis. So we're gonna shorten that one up a little bit.
So yeah, it has been mostly like hiding underneath your cloak for the majority of the travel, or in your bag. But today it is actually out and about,
Sick.
kind of coiling up onto your shoulders or on your arm. Get some time out in the sunlight after such a dreary last few days.
I forgot I still need to name fucking the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Why
It
not
seems
name it
content to
Johnny?
just sit in its cage.
Not naming
Or
it Johnny. We've already had one too many Johnnies in the party for my taste.
2? Yeah. Yeah, I guess
So-
it was the waste getting that bird.
In light of our current situation, shall I begin?
Hmm?
I mean, you guys do still have quite a few hours. This you find the fields like.
Well, I
30
scheduled
minutes.
I scheduled that question for midday, so I think
Yep.
Mo's pretty much right? Or is it still the
Do you
morning?
want me to twist you toward midday because you haven't made it further than
Oh yeah,
half an
sorry.
hour?
Yeah,
It's
no,
still very
that-
early morning.
I guess we just keep going.
Mhm. Continuing to travel.
I like this.
The-
We schedule questions from one character to another for a certain time of day.
The fields do continue to appear in kind of not really any real sense of order or like organization. Like they appear and then just kind of vanish. And then it's fields again for another few minutes before they appear again. Once in a while you'll find another dreg, but these ones, like the ones you found originally, are just kind of standing around, waiting for command. These ones at least seem to me a little more attentive. They almost all look at you guys as you walk through. But dregs being dregs, don't really do anything. They just kind of stand around and wait for someone to tell them what to do. As a note, just for Johnny's sake, as you would probably know this, people have attempted to freaking use dregs as warriors. There's some success. It's kind of mixed. They are very, 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 very hard to convince to like fight in combat, as they kind of act a little more like golems do than undead. You kind of need to be very, very careful about how you phrase commands and whatnot, as they are a little smarter than the average, which is what makes them great farm workers as well. Though they seem to take to that a little more easily.
Hey, go kill that guy. No. What?
Or they do, and then
Formulate command better.
they kill the guy, and then they're like, "What do I do next?"
Go kill that man. Formulate command better. Go stab that man to death. Formulate command better. What? How?
At around midday, you still haven't seen any buildings. Still plenty of fields, but no buildings.
Oh. I mean, in between the fields, there's like probably paths, right? That in theory should lead somewhere.
There are paths that lead between the fields. They all seem to be pointed generally in the direction you're already traveling.
Okay.
And they're not like real paths, they're more animal trails. Like it's still definitely grassy and whatnot, but you can kind of tell that
So, like-
someone's walked along them more than once.
I guess so, but a bigger question is, when people harvest these fields, is there like a clear like path they would take to transport the grain elsewhere?
Those little paths are the only ones you see.
So we're in the plains, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't we be able to see any homesteads that were within our realm of travel in this day?
Yeah.
Best get digging.
Yeah, best get digging, I think, is the answer. Unless we catch sight of,
They're already underground.
I suppose that's possible. Unless we catch sight of some place before midday, though, I think it is just safer to venture below ground ourselves.
Johnny, you know that Harathians generally don't bury themselves. They live under a clouded sky all the time. They don't really need more something between them and the sunlight.
Yes. Yeah, that goes without saying.
Most people and the gnomes and goblins of their realm are kind of special cases in that.
I mean, even when the Rathians die, they don't always go below ground.
Yeah. So, pausing to dig holes or hoping to find something a little further down the path?
Definitely pausing to dig hole. That's the safer option. Johnny's not messing around with the curse moon. Especially after what got us into this whole world-ending mess. The cursed moon. Fuck that.
I partially agree with the part of digging a hole. I'm not actually sure whether or not is the safer option, because depending on the size of that hole, and how far the fucking Curse of Moonlight traveled into that cave that other time.
Well, it's down and then
I did
sideways.
intentionally give myself a fairly large amount of time to make a big hole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be like a vertical hole, so we just get magnifying.
Yeah, the
glass
cave
that-
wasn't vertical either. The cave was horizontal, and the moon didn't seem to care much about that.
That's why we go down and then sideways. The light isn't gonna take a right turn.
That is fully incorrect.
Maybe it will. We'll make it work for
Hint
it.
nervousness. If it hadn't, then I would be like, yeah, no, this is a great plan. But
Hey, if the
It
moon
had-
wants us, we're just gonna make it work for it, okay?
You guys have about 5 hours from midday before the sun goes down.
Anything I can do to help Mo?
I'm not a cave digging expert, but I'm happy to help too.
Alright.
I will assist in cave building in any way Mo says.
Do you need us to like take dirt to the surface from the bottom after it's been removed?
Actually, should we have Goofy and I look to see if we can find a safer shelter than building?
Sure, you two can scout around, and I'll assist Mo in the meantime.
Okay, we'll reconvene here.
Alright.
We're never seen again.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I was gonna say, and which two were never seen again?
Depends on which perspective you take. Oh yeah,
I
go
will
and
note-
Gouvy are like, alright, we're free of the weirdos. Let's just leg it.
So, which way are you guys traveling?
I mean, I was planning on having both of us split up and look for
Clues.
places in different directions, since that just seems logical.
Oh, I was just gonna keep traveling the same direction we were traveling, looking around.
Yeah, I will
Well,
travel just
yeah. If you're splitting up, which way, just base it on the line. Are you continuing to follow the line, walk backwards, cross off the line, and
left,
toward east or west?
Forward.
left off the line. For
So
sure.
west off the line.
Port.
Yeah,
Just to make it easy for my mind.
always left.
All right. How long are you looking?
yeah,
or
we're
you
enough
might
that I
say
have.
5 hours.
You got 5 hours approximately.
I'm pretty confident in my sense of ability to get around. I'll get 2 hours 20.
Oh my. Let's say you find
Uh,
a place after 2 hours. You spend 2 hours getting back to us to say, hey, I
That's
found
true,
a place
actually.
2 hours away.
Oyeko's
No,
only
yeah,
gonna go
I'm
off
just
for
not gonna
like
come back.
Oyeko's only gonna go off for like a probably like an hour.
We'll
'Cause you go out for an hour, you come back. There's 3 hours left. You can bring everybody else out.
We'll do an hour and a half actually. Hour and a half
Okay.
there, hour and a half back, hour and a half back there, and then
Actually,
you
that
have an
makes
extra
sense.
30
Hour and a
minutes
half
wiggle
seems
room.
good.
All right.
Be sure to mark your path.
No,
I guess. Could both of you just roll me a d20?
I'm gonna roll
No,
you a
I'm
really
gonna take
good d20 as well. I got a 6.
I got 17.
So, yeah, go. After an hour and a half, you can see pretty far. You are on the plains. An hour and a half off the line, you don't find anything. There's not any buildings within an hour and a half travel. At least in that direction. Gouvet, on the other hand, an hour and a half, you don't see anything, but your sense is going off.
Mm-hmm.
There is one human ahead of you on the path at basically the very edge. Like you were about to turn around and then your sensor went off.
Are they traveling in the same direction?
Nope,
Are
they
they
seem to
traveling
be
back?
stationary, more or less.
How fucking long does it take me to move 5 miles?
Not very long.
Well, I gave myself that 30 minutes of wiggle room for some reason, I guess. I will go towards them.
Okay, so like a good mile run is like 6 minutes, right?
Yeah, you guys will be used to walking pretty efficiently, so...
So 5 miles is like a half an hour of running, which
Mhm.
if
Well, for
if Gabby were
running-
to then turn around and run half an hour back, Would that leave?
Actually, wait.
Is there enough
I
time?
don't even need to run back. I have a fucking bird that I can just tie a note to, and I'm sure that I can tell it to go attack the dumb fuck, and it will be more than willing to.
Yeah. Based on the
Okay.
normal traveling, considering I
That's cool.
believe D&D characters walk at about 24 miles a day. So 8 hours of travel is a day for what they have, which means you make about 3 miles per hour. And that's a walk. Or march, I suppose. It's
So
not
then-
a
so
quick
then-
march, it's not a slow, careful march. That's
Just
just
at that pace, it would take him,
about an hour and a half.
But I'm going to move
which
faster
would
than
leave
that, I
Give
assume.
3 hours from camp with,
Mhm. So yeah, if
with
you move
2
faster, you
hours
can get there.
left.
Yeah, I'm going to be
This is
moving
fucking
faster.
cutting it close. And there's
Yeah.
no way we'd be able
If you
to
run
get
the whole
to where
way, you
Give
can get there
goes.
in about half an hour.
Yeah, I'm
Because
gonna
that's
be
like
running at this
that's
point.
travel pace, which is a more like a strong walk.
Yeah, that travel pace is trying to conserve your strength, because guess what? You're moving over the course of an entire day.
So this is more run. So yeah,
All
you
right.
run, and at about 2 miles away, you see a dip in the terrain, and more importantly, an actual structure. A big black stone castle, for lack of a better term. It's not very well built, and it looks freaking old as hell, but it's a structure, and it seems like the human's signal is coming from there.
You know what? Worst case scenario is this guy is currently a bandit leader, in which case, still better than us sleeping in a hole in the middle of the night.
If he's a bandit leader, he is very woefully out of men.
Maybe he'll be going for a recruiting drive. Paul. So I'm going to take out the bird, which I've now decided to call fucking Heath.
All right.
I'm gonna go, hey, I need you to do something for me. Take out a note, write down the directions to get here. I say, I need you to go attack the one in armor.
Its eye just kind of flashes at you. It wasn't like totally into the whole, hey, could you carry a note for me plan until you ordered that particular aspect. It is now completely into this plan.
It's too fucking easy.
Yep. So it waits patiently for you to tie the message to its leg and then takes off.
Alright.
I'm trying to think, how fast does Raven move? Pretty fast.
That's just fuck.
Let's see, Raven flight speed. 50 miles per hour.
So yeah, it easily makes it back to the camp in like about half an hour, and just kind of immediately dive bombs Johnny.
What the fuck is this? What the hell? Johnny, not recognizing the bird, pulls a knife.
It hops off, glares a red eye at you, then just holds out a leg.
I shake it.
Well, I guess there's no accounting for human stupidity.
I mean, I'm not back yet. 'cause
You
it took me,
attempt to
like, what?
shake it, the thing kind of hops out of hops out of reach, so that you don't shake the entire bird.
So what does the message say?
I have found a place we can stay, and then directions.
How long does it say anything about how long it takes to get there?
Yeah, I would have.
And
You
how
guys
long
have
does it
time
take
to
get
move.
there? Well,
2
does
hours?
Oyeko have time? Because Oyeko would have to get back before knowing where to go.
Unless you
Otherwise,
send the bird out to
Oyeko-
find her.
Oyeko's going to be pretty hard pressed to get back
How would the bird find her?
if you guys wait.
Can it
Birds
Yeah.
can fly very high and see over a wide distance.
Mhm.
This is
And we
so
also know the direction they
dubious.
went.
It's so dubious.
Oh, it is.
I'm going to say
Worst comes to worst, this hole is big enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oyeko.
Oyeko. Oyeko.
the other human female. who is not human.
Other things.
For both things. Yeah, I'll just say right now, if Oyeko returns at the current time and you guys march from there at a quick march, you guys will make it to where Guve has found the thing before
Yeah,
the
but-
sun falls. It's going to force you to roll a con save, but you can do it.
Actually, yeah, that checks out pretty much perfectly at the 5 hours. Huh.
Well, it's mostly that I'm going to say you could do it even if time was a little bit fuzzy on it.
Okay.
Because if you freaking run, you can do things. You guys are seasoned adventurers at this point.
All right. Fair enough.
My
Running
God, he's
along
gonna
trail.
put us into a soup.
He's gonna season us. We've been seasoned. He's gonna eat us.
Imagine you put into a soup. I'm getting grilled.
So,
Grilled.
Oyeko, you return to that message. Unless, of course, frickin' Johnny and Mo just go, bye! Just leave you
Yeah.
with the hole.
No, we would definitely not leave until Oyeko gets back, because otherwise she'd just.
I mean, I
arrive.
figured, but it was an option.
And then, based on our judgment, if we feel like we can make it with enough time after Oyeko gets back, then we'll go.
I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to try it or not. You're pretty sure if you move, you'll make it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
As long as, of course, Guve's instructions were correct. But Guve has a pretty good sense of that. So
Make a
It's
survival
fine.
check.
I
see
had
if you
lied
can
to them.
relay
I
the
decided, fuck this party. This is my my last fucking.
you'll all
hurrah.
be cursed now.
I'm gonna send one last fuck you at them before I leave.
In the
The
meantime,
reaction to that would range from to absolutely devastated.
Yeah.
they find you. Let's see how magic works.
Alright, we
So-
go. We send message and
We're
go.
going.
Mhm.
And what message are you sending? No.
Well, yes.
Guve, while you're waiting, what is the plan? Waiting for them to catch up, forwarding to the actual structure, because you are still a little distance off.
Yeah, I'm at least going up to the structure at this point.
Yep.
It's fine. They can find my corpse. It'll be very funny.
We've escaped the Cursed Moon just to be killed by some random bandit leader in the middle of nowhere.
You know, given my track record, I think I can take a bandit leader. Honestly.
He's actually a human hostage of a bunch of racist dwarves, which you couldn't sense.
1 second. My sister's calling.
That's fine. That's funny.
Not
Actually,
the
while
same.
he's getting a call, I have something I need to do real fast because I need to go find a fucking checkbook.
Hmm.
Where the hell did I put it?
I don't know.
Oh boy, false alarm. So,
Well, Peyton went to get his checkbook. So,
okay. Did he order a pizza or something?
I don't know.
Unless he's like planning on paying off an imaginary bandit leader. Here, I'll give you this piece of fiat paper from a world that's not your own. That doesn't actually mean anything here. Okay.
I sure do love walking.
I love how we've kind of railroaded Mitchell into keeping this campaign in a line.
Yeah, people always say D&D is
I
great
hate to
because
tell
you can do
this was
you
an
can do-
option.
you can do anything you want, anything you can think of. And we went, what if we walked in a straight line for an entire month? And I guess you can do that.
Mitchell's
Yeah.
sprinkling in all these like cool things, and we're like, back to the line.
Look, I had a 3-year campaign where that was basically all they did. So
What? What do we do?
follow the line from one artifact to the next.
Saying follow the line, I feel like kind of forgets all the bullshit we had to do to find out where the artifacts were.
I
But
know,
guess
but still,
that line was
like
not
A,
straight by
B.
any means. Oh, you motherfucker.
So
Alright.
yeah. Getting closer to the structure, you see the number of dregs all of a sudden exponentially rise. Number of fields, however, remains about what it was before. But there are a significant number of dregs. Like, just walking closer to the structure, you see hundreds.
Fuck.
And riding out from the structure, you see a dust cloud coming in your direction. And under it, pretty obviously, a small group of horses plus their riders.
Actually, we have horses, so we can actually travel a lot faster than just 24 miles an hour.
I'm trying to remember what the heck it's at.
I
I don't remember what horses add to it.
don't either.
Yeah.
But it makes you significantly faster, I remember.
Yeah. I think it brings you up to like 30 or something, but
That sounds about right.
off the top of my head. But regardless, yeah. As they get closer, you can see the person up front is wearing a set of at least very tired looking like half plate. And they are definitely armed. The other two just seem to be more normal undead creatures. Skeletons, effectively. They're at least armed and armored. And they're apparently riding horses. Which means that they might not be just ordinary skeletons. But... Yep. I mean, are you just continuing to travel until you run into them? Because they do seem to be aimed for you.
Yeah, I'll like start traveling, I guess, more towards them.
Mm-hmm.
If
So.
I'm,
Yeah, after a very short time, they ride up to you. The leader just kind of stepping a few steps with her horse forward ahead of the other two, which do have the kind of more, well, they both have glowing red eyes. She has more glowing purple, which of course is why she's she. And
howdy.
she asks, "Who are you? What do you seek here?"
My name is Gouvet and Shelter, ideally.
She just cocks her head. Do you understand what this place is?
No, not at all.
It can definitely shelter you. This place, it does have a bad reputation. As long as you are aware, then you are allowed to stay. I suppose as long as the person who's currently living here allows it. We can
So
ask, though.
Why does this place have a bad reputation? What is this place?
From what I've heard, and I suppose its name hasn't changed since I was alive, it's known as the Place of Eternal Rage. It is, I suppose, a monument to those who went against the Eternal King. Well, he just kind of turns the horse around. Come along.
Yeah, I will follow.
So, riding into the camp, which you now view is a camp. There are walls. They're pretty beat at this point, obviously damaged by both age and the carnage of a battle. Big, huge walls, or big, huge holes, are kind of carved in the walls from either magical blasts or just standard siege equipment. And there are plenty of skeletons just laying around on the ground. There's also plenty of them that are up and walking. Some more well-armored and armed than others, but there's, like, just in this little camp alone, at least near the entrance, at least at a rough count, you are pretty sure there's somewhere between probably 200 and, well, between 100 and 200. Definitely
Nice.
in the hundreds somewhere, though.
Not an insignificant amount
Yeah.
at all.
Most of them seem to just be kind of standard skeletons. They seem to be currently digging up bones or repairing the walls, though they are very slow and poor at the job. There are some dregs that are assisting, and they are significantly more effective. Partially because 8-foot-tall zombies with enough intelligence to actually do tasks are significantly better than stupid skeletons that don't fully understand what they're doing.
Kind of stick with it.
Yeah. There are some that are armored, and they do seem to be slightly more intelligent. Though whether or not they are actually reformed, or if they are just something more akin to Graveguard, you're not sure. All skeletons have the same kind of glowing eyes, and without being able to speak, it's hard to tell. Coming up to the door, it is a big, giant, like, black iron door. It's still very old and damaged, obviously. It's got a pretty good selection of, like, battering ram dents that have been levied into it, but apparently someone got it back working well enough to hang it back on the hinges. There is a robed skeleton who seems to be kind of sort of directing the others. He doesn't seem very good at it. He does have a fancy hat, though, as well as a quill and a sheaf of parchment. He just kind of looks at the two of you as you approach, as the other two riders kind of break off to go put the horses away or whatever they're doing elsewhere. And he just he looks up at you guys. Ah, travelers. Are they coming for shelter from the moon, I would assume, yes?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
There should be a
I'm
few
sure they'd be
others
very
trailing behind me
interested.
as well.
Ah, more. Zinna will be very pleased. He hasn't had travelers to talk to in at least a few moon cycles.
Glad to be a help.
Would you go collect them? They're how far out, would you say?
Far enough out to where I will not be able to collect them and get back before the moon rises, if I had to guess. Well, no, not if I had to guess.
He nods. But you should be fine, yes? The
Yeah.
female skeleton just kind of nods. Moon doesn't bother me any. And she kind of turns and rides back out in the direction you were coming, you'd assume. The skeleton with the robe bows. I am Delphos. A advisor, I suppose you could call me. It was my job before I died, and it appears it is what I have come back to. Please come in.
All right.
He goes to try and push open the door, and it's a big iron door. It doesn't budge. Kind of titters on for a moment before yelling at a couple of the nearby dregs to come over and help him. And they just kind of walk over in one hand and each push the door open.
Well, I'll offer to help, but I'm gonna be honest. Our strength is probably very similar.
Yep. Inside, it is pretty dark. There's torches and the like around, but they're very, very sparse. Like, once every 40 feet or so. So it's basically just shadows. Thankfully for you, you don't really care. The room is almost fully brightly lit, but a human would have a lot of trouble.
That's their problem, though.
Delphos leads you inside. He does order the two dregs to close the door after you, which close with a resounding clang, not quite set correctly. And he eventually, after noticing that, well, I mean, did you leave the horse outside or did you bring it in with you? You can fit in this place with a horse. The doors are that big.
I would have asked where I should put the horse before entering.
Yep. He basically points towards one of the outbuildings in the kind of main courtyard area, where there are other horses.
I would have taken the horse over there then before heading inside.
Some of the horses are not alive, but there are some.
You know what? That's fine.
Yep.
That's just.
I mean, everything
Sometimes,
else is a skeleton. Is it really all that surprising?
Yeah.
The horses
Sometimes
are-
you gotta work with unusual bedfellows.
Yep. What, are you worried about freaking your horse?
I'm worried about my horse breaking shit.
Yeah, Rage is not going to give a damn.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna go, ooh, I know exactly what bones to smash now. Funny.
Yeah. A couple of skeletons in that area do help you kind of get the horse into stables and whatnot. They're pretty clumsy, but they do the job well enough anyway. They're even not damaged, surprisingly, actually.
Damn. Skeletons can't feel pain. There's no point in damaging them.
Well, Rage is apparently either being nice or, yeah, that.
Waste of effort.
So, Delphos leads you inside and up one of the sets of stairs in the main room. There are lots of stairs. They all seem to kind of lead off kind of, I guess, basically it's set up kind of like a cathedral type of building where you go into not a cathedral type of building, but you walk in the front door, big open room with a vaulted ceiling, and then there's lots of paths that lead off of it. Most of them stairways that lead either up or down. He leads you up one of the ones leading upward off to the east of this main hall. And after a few minutes of kind of walking up the stairs and around a couple of corridors, you are led to a wooden door, which he opens. And there is a small bed and other kind of usual amenities. Well, bed, desk, chairs, a couple of foot lockers, a chest of drawers, gold rating, in rooms. It's even not very dusty.
Damn. Oh, I promise that's fucking cursed.
Yeah. I mean, all of the stone is still that kind of black stone. Which
Yeah.
seems to suck all the light out of the room, but yeah, I mean, other than that, it's fine.
And the fact that this place is definitely haunted and, a 1.2 billion fucking undead hanging around. And the stone literally swallows the light. Pretty good.
Yeah. 4 out of 5. It's pretty good.
4.5. I don't need the light.
Yep. In the meantime, the rest of you are hustling to get to the location. And about halfway or so there, you see a rider riding towards you. Well, I guess the dust cloud and then the rider.
This can only be good.
Let's hope so, because, I mean, we don't really have time for bad.
We are all in.
I could dig a smaller, much crappier hole.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have to do that.
So, are you guys stopping or just continuing to travel towards them? Because they do seem to be coming in direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, they pull up 15, 20 feet away. And then look at you through their visor. Are you the travelers coming with the elf?
Are you gonna like lead us to your shelter?
Indeed. That was the goal set out. Follow me.
Great, thank you.
She's
Really kind.
You don't have time to be picky, Mo.
Kind of on the clock.
And then he
I believe we do, in fact. But never mind.
So, short time later, you guys come within view of the Blackstone Castle, which seems to be the structure you're headed towards.
Oh boy.
Well, that's cheery.
Second thought, I'm glad we went.
Here I was thinking you were right.
You see
before.
Gouvet thrown from the roof.
You're next. Oh no.
And she kind of does the same spiel that she did originally with Gouvet of, do you recognize what this place is? And then tells you its name. Johnny, you would not know the location, but you would know its, at least its basic history. So you'd recognize the name because this is like basically part of the most important event in around like Arathian history.
Yeah, do I know if this is a all ye who enter here, you're fucked sort of situation, or is this just like a... It is just a bad reputation.
I mean, it's probably haunted, as it was the site of a lot of death, but, I mean, it's the sort of place where people go, you probably shouldn't go there, but no one has the data on you're mega cursed if you go there. Because people don't go there.
Good news, we'll be getting the data.
But it's supposed to be a ruin, as far as you remember. Like, it was supposed to be a monument to don't fuck with the king, because otherwise he'll freaking murderize you.
Give it for the record. If it was any night other than one of these, I would not be here.
Is it that bad?
It's not someplace I'm eager to stay.
Let's hope it's a dull moon.
Yeah.
If it's a dull moon, I'm going to leave in the middle of the night.
Does the cursed moon always rise at sunset?
I'm not staying out here. I'm not risking getting cursed.
Oh, by the moon? Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, so
The dregs don't care about the cursed or dull moon. They're dregs. They're zombies. They don't care about it. Same for normal undead. Some, well, reformed do have to care about it, the same as normal people. Spell formed sometimes do. It depends on the spell formed.
Hmm.
Same for kind of the usual people. But some don't have to worry about it from their forming. Yep. You guys ride into the camp. And basically get told by the skeleton rider where to put your horses, and then are invited inside. This skeleton, on the other, unlike Delphos, doesn't need help opening the door. Yeah, I mean, she has a big greatsword strapped to her back, so
It's a finesse
Sick.
weapon.
yeah, so finesse weapon. But she leads you inside, and you guys meet Delphos coming back down the stairs after making sure Gouvet is all settled. And he seems very excited to have more guests. And effectively leads you to the same room.
This guy is also undead. This isn't the single
Yeah.
detected you.
No, that's a different person. Yeah, this guy is also an undead. One of the reformed or spell formed. It's hard to tell based on just basic look. Both of them do seem to have been human in their past life, at least as far as you can tell. It's a little hard to tell with a fully armored person. So they hide all the little points.
Skeleton.
No,
those
thankfully, elven
fossilized-
skeletons do look different than human skeletons.
Those fossilized ear bones.
So, yep, your group is rejoined in that little room. Well,
Howdy, folks.
it's now little now that there's 4 of you. It wasn't very little when it was only 1 person.
I don't like this place.
I don't either.
Desperate times.
That's why I'm here.
I would rather we.
Seen
the whole-
exploring.
Meanie didn't
would
tell you
rather-
not to.
I would rather we stayed in that hole. I was thinking. If I'm honest. But we're here, so.
Yeah. Could you 3 roll me a con save, by the way?
Yeah.
Because you had to ride very hard to get here.
Constitution saving throw. Normal. Big.
So, yep. Johnny and Mo, level of exhaustion. Oyako, you weather it just fine.
Are you exhaustion?
Which is good because Oyako doesn't plan to sleep here.
Yeah, Johnny neither. So this is actually bad.
Yeah, it's right underneath the deck saves.
Ah,
Just
yeah.
below the 6. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I already put it at 1.
So, Mo, are you actually going to go exploring?
Yeah.
And are the other 3 just going to hang out in the room?
I was
Wait,
gonna find
tell
a
see
person.
which room. Hmm? I'm sorry. I did not catch that, Peyton.
So I was going to go try and find the other actual person.
Mhm.
I will be vibing in the room.
Yeah, the room does have a window, but it has a covering over it. Not glass, it's just a... what the hell is it called? A shutter. Yep. Well, are you just wandering around randomly, or are you following Guve, just to make sure I know where you are in comparison?
I mean, if Ye is going, I'll go with Ye.
Okay. So, yep. You follow the... Well, you go back down to the main room, I'm guessing, before you try and sense where the human is. 'Cause otherwise, you're just wandering through random passages, hoping they connect up.
Yeah.
And he seems to be down one of the passageways to the north. Or down the stairs.
And we head north.
So, you walk down the stairs into a, well, basement with a lot of very tight hallways, which seem to be less cleaned up than upstairs. Mold and a few small skeletons are still laying around here, though most of them have been fairly thoroughly smashed as to be basically like half bone dust at this point. Following through the little passageways, you do eventually find your way to a room with a closed door and the pair of skeletal guards standing in front of it.
Howdy.
They don't react. Not even actually to look at you. They just kind of continue staring straight ahead. You kind of come at it from like a side passage. It's not like down the end of the hallway.
And I'll go like walk in front of the door.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They both lean their... they have like halberds. They just kind of lean them against each other.
Yeah.
They do look pretty... Like, their armor is rusty. Their weapons are beat. Still look sharp enough to hurt, but definitely not the best cared for soldiers. But they don't utter anything. You do hear inside the faint sounds of someone talking. They sound very old.
Hello?
The voice doesn't cut out. It just continues to do its current conversation.
I'll just sit there and wait for a little bit. Ain't nothing better to do.
So the night falls for, well, in total. And I mean, you guys can't see outside, so you don't know which moon it is. You don't
Yeah.
open a shutter to test.
I am not going to be peeking.
Yeah, me neither for sure. No, thank you. I guess
So-
Johnny are in complete agreement on this one.
After about an hour of sitting there, you gonna change plans, Guve, or continuing to wait? Burson has continued talking the entire time.
Have I been able to like understand any of it or catch any of it?
It's pretty muffled between the door and it sounds like they're pretty deep in the room. The stuff that you do catch seem to be words that, I mean, you can recognize them as words, but not in a language that you recognize.
All right.
I could make you invisible.
Look at the skeleton standing directly in front of the door. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's gonna help much.
Making it harder for them to hit you.
I'm not trying to get into a fight.
Shrug.
I'll just give up for now and start wandering around. I will go back upstairs where it's hopefully less cursed.
I mean, at least it's brighter up there.
Yeah.
Because down here, the number of torches goes from some to none.
None.
Which again is odd if this guy is human, because humans and light are kind of required for
Yeah,
an
it's fine. He's a
all
warlock.
around. Yeah. You'd assume he probably has something about him that makes it so he can wander around here without being really annoyed. He is living in a castle absolutely full to bursting with undead, so not exactly normal. So, yep,
True.
you make it back up to the main room, and Delphos is back there. He seems to be currently just scribbling away at something.
What's
can
with
hear
the
him
guy
muttering
downstairs?
numbers. What was that?
What's with the guy downstairs?
That would be the master, yes. He's currently very busy. I'll make sure to introduce you in... does he have time then? No.
Just
Probably
whatever's
tomorrow.
convenient.
Come down for breakfast when the sun comes up. It's the easiest time to get things set. I don't understand all these clocks yet.
All right.
How will we know when the sun comes up without risking checking?
Into a clock.
I mean, you could look at one of the sundials, or you can ask Rhea. She can tell you. You can walk out in that moon without problems.
Gotcha.
She is quite the formidable warrior. I mean, what else are you supposed to expect? She was a warrior at one time. A great one, from what I hear. I'm a little out of date.
It happens when you die. Yep.
Uwe?
Yep.
You're a woman. Not great enough warrior, it seems.
Everyone dies eventually.
That's how she died.
Shrug. Didn't think to ask at the time. I thought it'd be rude.
So how did you die?
So how'd you fucking bite it? What?
But otherwise, the castle seems to be pretty much silent. Well, that's not all surprising. Undead don't generally talk, so. But where else are you exploring? Because there's still plenty more.
I'm just gonna wander randomly.
I
No, wandering randomly, you find the dining room, kitchen, a few other kind of usual rooms, though most of them are fairly unused. The kitchen at least seems to be used. There's a couple of reformed that seem to be standing around in there, just kind of waiting for basically the job to come back in. So, if the guy is human, at least he needs to eat. You do, after wandering around for a bit, find a library. It's mostly full of scrolls, but it's a library technically.
Yeah, I thought I looked for anything interesting.
Most of the scrolls look very, very old, and several of them are actually like in little barred boxes. You know how scroll, like the scroll, not scroll case, the scroll shelving, they're kind of like wine bottle.
Yeah, I know the one.
And so several of those, like the old ones, have little, wrought iron like fencing with a key in front of them to most likely protect them from people touching them. They're just so old that they might be damaged from even that. The ones that you can look at are mostly magical nonsense, is what you'd guess. It's diagrams and words and whatnot that, to you, is basically gibberish.
What about Mo?
You at least recognize a little more of it. You recognize it as necromancy easily. But, like, what spells in particular? What spell levels do you have currently, Theo? Third. What level is frickin' Raise Undead? Is that third?
I believe so. Or well,
Create
the-
Undead.
The first undead spell is level 30.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you find some scrolls that have mentions of that at the very least, but these are definitely larger, more powerful spells. So that's kind of like the set or the baseline of it, but otherwise the modifications are above your level.
I see.
These are spells that require sacrifice, effectively. Yeah. Other than the scrolls of magic, the library is pretty sparse otherwise. You do find a very small section that seems to be set up for effectively research notes, which at least is a little more readable. It's mostly gruesome, detailed descriptions of person A was attacked by creature C and was thoroughly dismantled.
Full of dismantling.
But other than that, it's a pretty lackluster library. No fiction books, nothing really all that interesting to read. Unless I guess you like necromantic
No, not really.
description and spellcraft.
Mo does not know how to use necromancy.
I don't understand shit about magic. All I understand is that recently it just seems to be fucking me over.
Mm-hmm.
Ayako proven right once again.
Another notch in the belt.
Yep. It is pretty late at that point. When are you planning on heading to sleep? Or are you not? I'm just gonna keep
No, I'm
wandering.
not going to.
I know, we do have two people, though, that are deciding that's not the way they want to do things. So, you return to the room?
Yeah.
Alright. Eventually, the sun comes up. Or at least enough time passes that you assume the sun's probably up at this point.
Mm.
Without opening
Con
the...
save.
Yeah, this is the time for the con save.
Poggies.
Still good. And Johnny?
But
Please roll con save.
riddle me this.
You're also fine. So your exhaustion does not worsen. So,
My exhaustion goes away, right?
yeah, since you rested. So. Yep. It is now the morning. No one has come to get you, as a note.
Yeah, we're getting that for breakfast, like I was told to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go.
So,
How cursed can the food be? The food was the most cursed of all.
are you going to the kitchen or are you going to the dining room?
It's just raw.
I think we were told to go to the dining room, right?
Yeah, that's what Delphos did
So
tell
go
you
to
to
the
do.
dining room.
But you make it to the dining room to find Delphos is already there, along with a. Well, he's bald and he's wearing the kind of dark purple and black robes of a necromancer. But actually, what is necromantic magic? Is it black here? I just want to make sure. No, sorry. Necromancy is white, so actually his robes are white. Necromancy is weird and opposite. Yeah, but they do have purple as their kind of highlights. And he's currently just kind of sitting at the table. He looks remarkably young in comparison to the voice you heard. Like, he's no older than like 30s from what you can see. He's like just starting to get lines.
Mm.
I mean, if he had hair, you'd be able to tell if it was graying, but as I said, he's bald. Not even facial hair.
Goes,
His eyebrows
"Howdy,
are
I'm
like a
21.
dark-
So what the fuck?
No, it's like the programmer thing. I'm 25.
You look like
Programming
you're
is
2
the
inches
best
from
job
death.
I
I am.
He notices you guys all walk in as he's kind of continuing to eat, just waves at the table. The food he's eating at the moment seems to be some sort of just kind of vegetable, not vegetable mash, some sort of like kind of mess of vegetable, like roasted vegetables mixed, along with some bread.
All right.
So, are you guys all just kind of seating yourselves, or
Oh,
looking at the weird guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be munching. I'm not trying to make conversation.
Whoever sits down, he just kind of waves, and Delphos goes and gestures for one of the people carrying trays to come over and give you one. And you get the same thing that the main guy does. A plate full of vegetables with a small thing of bread.
Something very amusing to me about waving at someone so that they will wave to someone else. That way, food will be brought.
Eh?
Fucking bureaucracy.
Yeah, he delegates.
The great delegator, they call him.
So he eats in silence for a few minutes, and after he's finished, he just kind of sits back, sighs, and then looks over at Delphos. Are these the ones that you told me about that came in last night? Delphos just kind of nods. I didn't quite get their names, sir, but, well, they apparently were coming to escape this moon, you know? The necromancer just nods. Ah, yes, the moon. Quite an infernal thing, but quite effective for some sources of magic. Not my own, but it is how it is. So, travelers, what can I do for you?
I was just hoping to stay here for the next few
Yeah.
nights so we don't get got by the moon.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for as well.
He smiles. A little too big, almost like edging on manic. But, I mean, with the smile. Ah, good. I have wanted guests for quite a while. Now I have Delphos and Rhea. It is very boring out here. Not very talkative allies, these ones.
I'd like to insight that, see whether there's another reason why he might want guests.
Sure, go ahead.
Something about that manic smile put me on edge. Yeah, it's a good one, too.
There is definitely something about having guests, but strangely, you're getting the sense that he does not want guests.
Mm.
And that was like him trying to basically get you to freak out and leave, is what he was trying to do.
Okay, so he's actively just trying to put us off and so we'll leave.
Yeah. He seems to be, actively putting on a show.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the world? Not much, I suppose.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd go on a crazy rant.
I am kind of busy dealing with other things. Setting up an army for my king and all. Very busy work. I don't really have time to research other topics. Do you know something about the end of the world that I should be interested in?
It's ending.
Just kind of nods.
I like the idea that that is literally all Mo knows at this point. It's just like, something, I think the world's ending.
He taps on his head. That is a very good thing to know, I suppose. But if it comes, then it comes. I have no way to stop it as it currently stands. No time, as I said. But if all you seek... Yes, indeed. If all you seek is refuge in my home, then you are more than welcome for the next few days. But I would ask you to leave after that. It is, well, as much as I like entertaining guests, I do have many things to do. And I simply don't have the time. I wouldn't want to harm poor Delphos here in having to entertain for too long. Delphos just waves a hand, dismissing. Oh, but I seek to entertain. It is one of my primary tasks.
Delphos, you don't want to entertain, shut up.
You are blight upon this landscape, Delphos.
Delphos, I'm trying to get them to leave faster, please shut the fuck up.
Yep, he just ignores Delphos' outburst. Now,
What is it you do here?
Necromancer, the DM said so.
I mean, he's so obviously a freaking necromancer. Is it anything? Do I
Yeah,
really
no, but it was
not
just too
state it?
funny of a line.
No, the guy surrounded in skeletons is actually an abjuration wizard.
Necromancy
Listen.
library.
Listen, he's an abjuration major, he's just got a fucking minor in necromancy. Fucking who knew it would be more important? Alright? Not a lot of abjuration wizard jobs going around. Why you gotta fucking harp on him? You can't be so against my guy.
Yeah, he looks at you, Mo, and answers your question. I, as I said, am working to further our glorious eternal king's aims by making sure Rathia is safe from harm. By making more and more dangerous undead to help protect us.
Fair enough.
It is a hard task, but a rewarding one. I've only been doing it for... He just pauses, having to, like, seriously consider how long it's been. I would say about a decade now. It does take some time out of you, you know? Dealing with so many creatures of undeath.
What does he mean? Why is he?
What does he mean?
What does he mean?
Boy, I wish I knew.
Yep. You're not sure what he means. It could just be that he's worked very hard, or it could be that undeath magic is just really actually takes life out of you.
It could just mean that he's still trying to unsettle us and gets to fucking leave.
Yeah.
Mo is more referring, like, what does he mean along the theme?
Because I
No,
know.
he's a crazy old guy. Don't look into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could be many things. I don't know. Maybe he wants us to leave. He finds us draining.
I must ask, if you decide to stay the next 2 days, to please avoid the research labs underneath our feet down in the basement, along with the main shrine. I've found, well, research labs are my own domain. They are not safe. As for the shrine, it's, well, when you lose that many powerful necromancers in quick succession, it tends to mess with things. And I don't think our great mother of undeath is particularly happy her shrine was desiccated in such a way.
Sure, I'll have no problem staying out of your way. Certainly.
Other
don't
than
mean
that, my
hospitality.
castle is yours to explore. Though I think you'll find it quite boring. It's still in the process of being lived in. Or I suppose unlived in, as it were. And he does let out a small laugh. But after a little bit longer, if you guys don't seem to ask him anything else, he gets up from the table and excuses himself to go continue his work.
Actually, I was going to ask him.
I did.
Which is, this is still on the path of the Watcher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any of your skeletons notice a weird eye monster come through here?
Just kind of pauses, thinking about it. I don't believe I have had any reports of anything along those lines.
Alright. Just very quickly, liar!
He is not being entirely truthful about that. If they did go missing, then I would not be able to tell. I have many servants. It's hard to keep track of all of them. Delphos, have we lost any of our number in the last... He just kind of looks at you. How many days should I ask?
I don't know how long ago it is at this point out of character. It's like 10 days, 11 days.
Yeah, something like that.
So, like, it would have happened 10 or 11 days ago or something.
Yeah. He just nods at Delphos.
It would have happened correct in character time days ago.
Yep. Delphos seems to consider it for a moment, rifles through his sheaf of parchment. Well, I don't have any reports of any major losses. A few wandered into a couple of animal territories and got torn apart, but that's not surprising and not missing. So, he just shrugs. Nothing strange.
What about those dredges that seem to just be chilling?
Well, it is quite cold out.
He just kind of looks at you and then looks over at Delphos. Delphos, we didn't leave the dredges out in the fields, did we? Delphos just, once again, rifles through the sheafs of paper and then frowns. It appears we might have left a few out in the far fields. The necromancer just looks annoyed, but shrugs. Well, I hope they'll survive the winter, but I suppose it's not any major loss if we lose a few dregs. Annoying, but not a massive loss either way. Is there anything else, or may I continue my research? I do have many things to do.
I'm done with this guy.
Done with this guy.
What did the king person do to earn such dedication to his pain and suffering?
Killed a metric fuck ton of people.
Well, at least the story goes that the necromancers who attempted to rule the kingdom of Arathia wished to play a final trick on the king in his dying moments. They wished to turn him into nothing more but a, well, dull skeleton. The trick ended up playing poorly for them, as the king became one of the first spellformed, from what I understand, and then visited great vengeance on these necromancers who thought they could outdo death herself. It's quite entertaining, quite a bloody story, though. If you wish, Delphos can tell you personally how it went down. Right, Delphos? Delphos just kind of solemnly nods. Quite gruesome indeed, yes.
I'd be interested in hearing such a story.
Delphos' eyes kind of grow a little smaller. I suppose I can tell you of that. I would really rather not do so, as it is not memories that I would like to dredge up again. But if it were to entertain, then I can do so.
No, this is not to visit inconvenience or pain upon
Oyaka will just set down food and just leave wordlessly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At this point, the necromancer is going to also kind of wave off any further questions and head back to his studies. And Delphos is willing to show you guys around the castle if you wish to do anything in particular. and give you guys an update on what Moon actually came out.
Yeah, sure.
He is very thankful that it was, well, thankful that you guys made it here. Not quite so thankful that it was, in fact, the Cursed Moon that came last night. Which means the next 2 days will also be the same.
All right, well, time to start reading, I guess.
Yep.
Still have those books from so long ago that I just never fucking read. Guess I did read some of them.
Mm-hmm. Where is Oyeko going?
Just back to the room.
Just to sit in the room.
We're camping out.
You find Johnny already in there.
I'm gonna open up the door and a shotgun trap's gonna take off half my fucking skull.
Oh, we don't use guns, but a big blade will swing down from the ceiling.
The good old axe trap.
Actually, Oyeko's just perched above the door waiting.
Yeah. You come in, an empty room, you look up, Johnny and Oyeko are just like crouched up in the corners of the room.
It's fine. I won't go in. I'll instead throw in a fucking straw doll in my clothes. So that way when you jump on them, then the fucking high explosives inside will go off.
Oh my god.
You thought you outsmarted me, but I outsmarted your outsmarting. Get fucked.
Well, what is Mo doing in that case? Since everyone else is already, I'm guessing, either hanging out in the room or near in the library to read.
God. I'm not gonna inflict solo adventures on you guys, even though every part
Go
of me
for
just wants to go into those restricted
Fucking do it.
areas.
How
Do it.
Good.
Do it.
Do it. If you want, if every party wants to do it, go for it.
Alright. First we have to find. We're gonna look around, kind of just wandering aimlessly until we find something that looks restricted.
I think wandering aimlessly, you probably eventually walk up the central stair and reach a big iron door that looks pretty beat like the outside one. This one actually is even more beat. No guards, but it definitely has a little piece of paper attached to it that says, "Danger, do not enter. Shrine currently massive cursed." Not quite in those words, but that effective meaning.
I'll try and open the door. I have a feeling I've already come across an obstacle Mo can't surpass.
Fucking doors are so powerful.
I mean, you can roll if you want to. You're not going to get to try and just open it for free. It's a big door.
No.
No. Yeah. You
I've seen better
like
rolls.
you like shoulder charge the door and just nothing. It doesn't shift at all. You hurt your shoulder in the
Opens
process.
slightly, knocking you backwards. And then closes.
You attack the door. The door attacks you.
I was a mimic the whole time. Get fucked. You found the
Your
wrong
Avenger
shrine.
gets threatened square. Jesus. The fuck?
Take a step back to charge it
that's
again. The door just freaking attacks you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claps you on
the Neo like angry walls.
It just flips open really aggressively and clips your trailing ankle.
Yeah. Regardless, that door probably is not going to open.
Time to look for the underground labs or whatever they were talking about.
I mean, you were down near them already, so you know the way. At least to one of them. Though he seems to have moved on to a different lab, as finding your way back to that one it's empty. Even the skeleton guards are gone. Moved on to whichever lab he's probably in now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I probably don't want to go into labs where he is in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you found an empty one now.
Greetings, host. Is this your privacy bubble? Mind if I violate it by my presence? Hello. Hi. It's me, Mo.
The door is closed. It does seem to have a keyhole, though. Testing it, it does not seem locked.
This is the empty.
Yeah, this is the one from last night, but he's no longer in. Moved on. Something
I
else
will
was up.
very cautiously open the door.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You. Well, I guess go ahead and roll stealth if you're going to try and be quiet. See how quiet you are.
Oh my god.
Goddamn, Theo.
Just spam
Two nat ones in a row.
If you get
So,
3, I'm gonna give you a special
yeah.
prize.
Be back in a moment.
I mean, you're still somewhat quiet because freaking heck, it's a skill. You can't get that one doesn't mean anything. You rolled a 1. However, a 9 is still very, very squeaky. The door kind of shears open, and you hear a growl as the door is about enough for you to at least poke your head in on the inside.
I'd like to real quick poke my head in.
Yep. You poke your head in and see a fairly large room. The room goes back from the doorway. Well, it's basically like I'm trying to think of the shape. No. Not like a cross, but it where the door is kind of like the bottom of a rectangle. It goes up and then opens into a more circular area, and the circular area is about as big as the rectangle, which goes about 40 feet. In the circle room is basically an agglomeration of a whole bunch of different animals that have been stitched together into a single, well, much larger and fanged and clawed animal. The thing has, at least at a quick view, 4 limbs for walking and another 6 for attacking things, along with, of course, 2 or 3 heads. The only one seems to be really doing anything. Looks kind of like a chimera, if someone stitched a chimera together from a bunch of woodland animals.
It's the only way to create one.
Yep. It seems to be staring at the door with the head of the bear. The other 2 heads, a deer and a wolf, are currently non-active or something. They're not doing anything at the very moment, though. They're not glowing, which the bear head is.
Is it like chained up or is it free?
It seems to be free, as it starts to stalk towards the door.
I would like to close the door
It closes, and after about another, well,
and retreat.
round or so, you hear a massive thump as it slams into the door on the other side. Thankfully, the door holds, and it doesn't seem to charge again, or try and attack the door. You see a pretty sizable dent in it, but, I mean, it held. You're good. Probably. Hopefully. Looking for another lab, or going elsewhere?
I think we figured out what those labs contain. Probably.
Research experiments, yes.
So I think we'll give a pass on that.
It was like, I have figured out death. I'm going to avoid it now. So, where are you headed now?
So I'm heading back to the library for some joyless reading.
Vey, are you in the library or are you reading in the room? Oh, if Peyton's not here, then I don't know. Are you reading something like one of the research journals, trying to understand some of the magic? Because there's really not much else as far as books. Did I just cut out? Or is everyone not talking?
Sorry, I was opening a bag of chips. I didn't want to
Okay.
throw it into the mic because that's loud.
I was just making sure that my internet did decide, nah.
No, you're good. You're good.
So,
Oyako's just nervously pacing in the room pretty much.
yeah. What are you guys doing other than that?
Hoping I don't get cursed for the most part.
Hmm.
I'm very
Yeah.
jumpy.
Yeah, like waiting this all out, counting down the seconds until we get to leave.
Yep.
Pacing.
I mean, the day continues ticking past. Seems to last forever, which isn't helped in, of course, dark stone rooms.
Try and find Faye and pass on what I found to her.
Alright. Yeah, when Peyton comes back, you can let him know. Because you're able to find Gouvet, no problem. Because I don't think she's trying to hide. Yeah. At around... I mean, if you don't think you're going to do anything else, Theo, then I'll just skip the day, because it sounds like people are just kind of hanging out. But at around kind of early evening, before the moons have come up, or moon in this case, you guys do have a skeleton show up at the room. Just a normal skeleton, it seems. Knocks on the door, and then just hands a note to the first person who opens it.
What does this note say? The note of
Yes.
ever mystery.
Says, dinner will be served soon. Please come to dining room if you wish to eat. And then the skeleton just walks away.
I wish to eat.
Yeah. If you're not in the room, then the skeleton, like another skeleton, finds you and gives you the same thing.
Oyako will go to eat.
Yep.
She's unsettled and definitely nervous here, but there's no reason for her not to go eat food.
Yeah, Johnny's in the same boat. He's gotta eat. He's a person.
No, you should not eat, so that way you'll be weaker when they decide that it's time to kill you.
Well, I was staying on the host's good side. He clearly invited us. You know?
This is true.
And the vents open up. We get jigged.
Good times.
This guy does not have vents, other than for airflow.
That's what Jake said the vents were for.
But this is freaking old Ar's castle. This guy's a necromancer who doesn't understand clocks. He's not going to freaking set up intricate poison vents.
Listen, he doesn't understand fucking clocks, but he is a fucking hell of a guy with a pipe. He has large brain.
I mean, he is large brain, he's a wizard, but... Yep. You guys head to dinner, and find that the necromancer is actually not here. Delphos is, though, along with apparently Rhea, who has come without her armor on, and is just dressed up in more kind of knightly clothes otherwise, though. A nice tunic and whatnot. Well, nice and out of fashion by, like, however long. But, yep. Delphos kind of apologizes to you guys as you come in, and it tells you that I just want to make sure I get his name right. Yeah. Master Svinvel, or Svinel, is unfortunately busy, so he is not going to join you for dinner.
Alas.
But that's fine.
He clears his throat. Someone rolled a 1 on their stealth check last night, and I would like to know who it was.
So, yep. Dinner is, I mean, it's food. It's not the best thing ever. It's not very well seasoned, for instance, and it's basically lots more roasted vegetables with some actual meat this time.
It's excellent by Arathian standards.
They use salt,
God.
and that's about it.
Regular seasoning.
But otherwise, yeah. It's only Delphos and Rhea, and they don't talk at all. Unless you guys pull them into a conversation.
Oh, Yeko is fine just to eat in silence.
Should I take that as all the rest of you are doing the same?
I got nothing to converse with these guys about.
So, how do you die?
Who are you
And I
directing
spit out
that
my food?
towards?
Right
Right
the
after
lady. We already asked Delphos, and he was like, I don't want to talk about those times.
I died in battle, if I recall correctly. At least that's how the story goes.
All right, Mo, you got me there.
Don't remember.
No. Well, it was something that I gave up as a requirement.
Gotcha. We all make sacrifices.
Indeed. It seems to be the case. Otherwise, they lapse back into silence. After a time, dinner is completed. You guys can return back to your room, or the library, or wherever you
The
want.
safety room.
You know, one thing we should do tomorrow, Yeko, is we should go outside and sleep during the day.
Honestly, I mean, if I'm in the room, there's less likely chance that people are gonna talk to me.
Let's go outside into the field where it's filled with skeletons.
The other way to be safe from these skeletons is to go where there are more skeletons.
Part of being cursed by this building. Skeletons can get fucked. Wait a kindling. Basically.
No,
They're not
Johnny,
very
I
good
understand why I don't like this place. Why do you not like it?
Growing up around here, you hear a lot of stories of this place. It's I just don't want to be here, you know?
What kind of stories?
I mean, it's one of the, you're told by your mother, don't make that face or it'll stick. Don't stay up late or the boogeyman will get you. Don't be naughty or you'll be sent here. It's just, one of the classic touchstones of places to avoid. And I'm not
Is
comfortable.
this like some ancient prison?
Not prison, but ancient and spooky, absolutely.
So this is like
It's almost
the
like there are
equivalent of a
NPCs you
folktale,
could
but
ask about this information.
Yeah, but let's be real.
This
I'm not
place
talking
is-
to those.
This place is what Arathian parents terrify their children with when they're young, and I don't like being here.
well, I could imagine that. I mean, I feel like hearing about something and probably growing up thinking, oh, it's just a myth, and finding out it's real is not ideal. Well, now I hate this place even more.
It's really not good at all in any way, and I cannot wait to be rid of it.
Well, at least I agree with you on that. The sooner we can get out of here, the better.
Absolutely.
Well, night 2 passes.
I'm making another con save.
Yeah, you're staying up. You make another con save.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Do we make this with disadvantage, or when does exhaustion start imposing disadvantage on the ship?
on saves, it's 3.
Yeah. So now. No, that's 2, because you saved the first one.
Yeah.
So you're still good for that. When is the save? I'm trying to remember how much it goes up for exhaustion per
5.
Is it by 5?
Yep.
Jeez, yep. So both of you failed tonight.
We're gonna get back on the road and we're gonna look like zombies.
Lend
You
me-
go on the road and go, oh man, glad we finally had a chance to rest up. What the fuck happened to you guys?
I went to a cursed castle and all I got was this damn zombie face.
That's it.
But as with yesterday, no one comes to wake you during the morning and to invite you down to breakfast. So you assume that's kind of the standing offer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll go get breakfast.
Yep.
And at breakfast, you do see your host again. He looks very tired.
Mood.
He isn't the only one.
Yep. He's just kind of slowly eating his bread and a actual like fruit something. It's not quite like oatmeal and fruit, but it's at least kind of leaning in that direction. Someone mashed something and then put like little berries and whatnot in it. And he's just kind of robotically eating it.
Yeah.
He like doesn't even greet you guys as you come in. Delphos does, but
Howdy.
This guy makes his place a little better because he doesn't try to talk to me.
he's busy. He's got things to do. Rathia to turn into a military powerhouse.
Not a content I care about.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Delphos, what is wrong with him?
Delphos just kind of looks a little concerned, but just kind of shrugs. He decided not to sleep. Working on a project that took so much time that's enough. I'm fine. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Just kind of lets out a small chuckle and continues.
If you
just-
don't sleep until you're dead, then that's gonna be pretty soon. Whereas the human body needs sleep.
I'm sure he knows himself better than we know him. Haha.
Otherwise, he just kind of quietly sits and continues eating. The mush, by the way, turns out to be mashed potatoes. Someone just stuffed a bunch of berries in.
Exotic.
Exotic.
There are berries in this one.
Yeah.
God.
Neither the berries nor the mashed potatoes are exotic, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Say, we did what we had. Yay! The cooks are probably not cooks. They're just people that are told, make things for us. Yay. It's peasant food, effectively. But
peasant food.
Is there anything we can do to help him?
Is there a problem?
Well, I suppose if you had some sort of stimulant, caffeine, coffee, that sort of thing. But
Adrenaline. We could attack
I
him.
don't think you have any.
God,
I might be
through
wrong.
our inventory already.
Yeah, look through my trusty inventory. We got an ear hook. Will that help?
No, you're pretty sure it won't.
I've got this crystal you can crush up and snort. They will not fucking get dissolved into your system, so it will just fuck up your nose really badly. But I'm sure I'll wake you up doing so.
Just tap a crystal.
I've got a note that says Halvan Twin Oaks on it. Does that mean anything, anyone?
I've got a fishing pole. You can go fishing.
I've got a strange ring.
A small red stone that you
That's
can also crush up.
interesting. I have a strange brass key.
I think Past Lumpy was intentionally cryptic when he wrote this in the inventory, and I have no idea what it is.
I've got 3 separate amulets. None of them will help.
Eventually, it takes him a good 15 minutes to eat. He's like that slow. And eventually he finishes and excuses himself to continue working on projects
Good
or
luck.
sleep. So, what are you guys doing for today?
Return to the room of safety.
Yeah, of course.
And as soon as we get back there, oh yeah, let's go.
Johnny, you should probably get some sleep.
Oh yeah.
All right, how about this?
Eden wasn't. Oh,
I
well.
sleep until midday, and then wake me up, and then you can sleep until nightfall.
No, Johnny, I'm not going to be able to sleep here. It's not a matter of if I want to or not.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
try to sleep.
Well, my point is, if you sleep, I will keep watch and look at that door, and if anything comes through it, I'll wake you up. Unless it's one of our friends.
Thank you. I will try to sleep.
Good luck.
Out of character, I will not sleep.
Let's go.
So yeah, Theo, if you want to update Payton.
I found the cursed room. It had a sign on it. Said very cursed. The door was a bit beyond my abilities.
Are you
So I came to you, the also weak person.
Are you implying that you want me to go and help you open up the door to an incredibly cursed room?
No, I was just informing you that it existed. And
Okay.
would be opened. I also explored the lab thing. And by explored the lab thing, I mean I opened the door and saw a horrifying bear wolf flesh mound and closed the door.
Maybe the other
Just
two are
wanted
right.
to let you know. That they exist.
So is there any specific reason why you came to tell me about this?
I
Or you just randomly
figured
decide?
someone should know.
Alright. Well, if you need anything else, I'll just be
Mo is
here.
just standing there looking at you.
I just go back to reading.
Information delivered.
Yeah.
Good job, Mo.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mo.
You look, there's some smoke coming out of their ears. Like, oh no,
That's probably
they
not good.
short circuited after delivering the message.
Mo delivers the message and then just onto the ground, passes out. Job done.
Yep. So, get more reading done, more sleeping or not sleeping done. What is Mo doing?
I guess we're looking.
Standing and staring.
Staring at
Sorry,
Gunpei.
continue. This is too funny.
Yeah, see, Mo gets bored real quick, and even though yesterday Mo didn't think it was a good idea to do this, today Mo.
The Mo of today.
Different from the Mo of
Causing
tomorrow, and
problems
never
for the
again will
Mo
be
of
the Mo of
tomorrow.
yesteryear.
So, where is Mo of today going?
Looking for another lab. Maybe the lab he was working on yesterday.
I mean, you don't know which lab he was working on yesterday, so
Gosh.
wandering around. You do find other labs, though the first two are actually locked. So if you want to actually pick them, if you can, that's an option. Otherwise, you can just move on.
I'll try and pick the lock.
Sure.
We'll go
Go
for
ahead.
a third one. How do you...
Do you want to look for a third one, or do you want to pick one of the first two?
Oh, I just mean a third natural one in the row.
Let's
I
see.
don't actually know how to roll a tool, so I'm just gonna roll sleight of hand because I'm pretty sure I have the same.
I believe it is the same thing, basically. I think you can just do it, yeah, from your inventory. But
Oh, my inventory. I see. I was looking at my like skills page because it
Mhm.
says like tool proficiencies.
yep. But a 23 is more than enough to freaking break the freaking lock.
Sorry, that was me rolling it just to
Mhm.
test.
It looks like it's correct. So, well, it's the same sleight of hand as you thought.
Yeah.
But, yep, the lock gives up pretty quick. It's not a very good lock. It's very old.
I would
So,
open the door and get hit by a ballista.
yeah. So you hear the door pop. Well, the lock click open, so you can open the door.
I would like to open the door.
This door is surprisingly heavy.
I would like
So-
to attempt to open the door. Is that
Yeah.
athletics or just strength?
In this case, it would be athletics because it's going to take you a little bit of time. It's big and heavy.
I give a bonus to my athletics.
Yeah. So you work it, and eventually, after about a good 30 seconds of effort, you're able to get it open enough that you can slip through. The door on the opposite side turns out to be very, very thick. Like on the opposite side, sure, the door itself is kind of a black iron. The inside is like the same sort of black stone, a little more pitted than the stone that covers the ground, but similar stone. And the walls themselves seem to be that stone rather than the usual stone. Inside the room, it's set up effectively the same general way. Big circle at the end, and then the kind of rectangle to lead to it. No monster in this one, though. This room instead has a large tank that seems to hold some sort of green fluid. Not quite Cursed Moon green, but not really forest green either. And not the neon green of acid. It's something else. Or at least it appears to be something else.
How far away is it?
I guess, what is it? Circle's about a 40-foot diameter, so about 60 feet from the doorway. because the rectangle is 40 feet. So it's a distance.
Is it like a covered container? Is it an open top container? Is it like a pool or?
It looks like a giant fish tank, effectively.
Okay.
Vaguely circular, but kind of shaped in more of a cauldron type of shape. But it is like massive cauldron. Like there's actually even a little step stool to get up on top, so you can like look into it. It's like that big, and even a human needs that. I guess not needs it. Like you could probably still see over the top. It just wouldn't be pleasant to like do anything in it.
But it's glass, so you can kind of see through.
Yeah, that's why you can tell it's green from a distance.
Gotcha.
It's why it's a glass tank. It's not really a cauldron.
Mo will very cautiously. I won't like go into the circle. I'll kind of walk up to the edge of where the circle part begins and just look around the sides.
You see that the sides of this room are similarly covered in that different black stone. The circle itself does actually have a runic circle drawn kind of around the inside. One kind of around the very edge of the room, and then one directly around the cauldron. It's not currently glowing or anything, but you can see the lines carved into the floor. The edges of the circle are pretty much bare. There's not even like torch sconces in this room. It's just the kind of flat black stone all the way around. Ceiling, floor, etc.
Alright, well, we're gonna do the obvious thing and try and throw a rock. into
Unless
the
you brought a
pool.
rock, there are none in this room.
I do. I carry a sling with ammunition.
Yep. So
He's
you
ready.
toss a rock into the pool.
Mo's
Yeah.
never safe.
All right. The pool goes from not moving at all to moving
I would like
much
to
more than the
run.
rock should do. Yep. You bolt for the door. And as you reach it, you hear a big splash. And turn as you're kind of popping back out the door. A large fish-like creature. It does not look happy with you. Although it also doesn't look like can think anything at all.
I see. I will
And
close the
pissed
door
off.
and then attempt to undo my lock picking.
All right. Keep in mind, the door is very big and heavy. Do you want to try and close it fast?
Yes.
That is going to require a strength check to close it fast.
Is there anything I have that can help me with that?
You're trying to lock a door from the outside through the keyhole.
You can do it.
Yes.
That's sick.
You
I
just
could
mess
impose
with the mechanism.
disadvantage on myself, but that's not going to help.
All right. I did say it was supposed to be just a strength check, so I'm
Oh,
going to
I'm
take it as
sorry.
a.
It's that
What do you have?
is,
-2, right? So it's 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15 is still enough. You yank on the door, trying to get it closed in time, and thankfully you do before you hear the wet, squishy footsteps of this thing, like getting closer to you. The door closes completely. It doesn't smash against the door like the first thing, but you do kind of hear it just kind of squish, 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 squish,
In
squish.
case this changes anything, it's actually a 14.
Oh, 14?
Because it
That
goes
does
back.
actually change something.
Monka.
Then the thing is going to help you close the door as it attempts to try and freaking pull you back through it.
Part 4. Mo, you die.
Mo, could you roll me a dex save as its tongue shoots out from around the door frame trying to grab you? All right. Yep. You're able to dodge the tongue before it's able to get a good grip. They're able to pull the door closed safely at that point.
Part 5. Mo fucking lives.
Yep. Do you still want to undo your lockpicking?
Yes.
All right, you can just do that.
Okay.
I mean, it takes some time, but you got time.
Yeah.
So, yep. You found the weird fish, frog, undead thing room. Continue exploring, or time to run away again?
That was enough exploring for Mo for today. Mo will go and relay what happened to Oyeko.
Yeah, Echo, I keep finding freaking things that want to kill me downstairs.
Yeah, as soon as you mentioned you went to laboratories, I was like, why? Why? Why would you go there?
Well, I think I'm only telling not Oyeko.
Yeah, no, there's
Wait.
where the confusion came from.
I was wondering why all of a sudden. It's like, now I'm going to tell Yucko instead.
You open the door and we like stare at you like two deer caught in the headlights, quaking in our boots.
Yep. So you update Gouvet.
Go. Why?
Look, Mo just really wants to poke the bear.
Poke it without me.
I mean, that is the plan currently.
Mo is
Stop letting me know I want plausible deniability.
So, at approximately the same time, the skeleton rolls around again with the invitation to dinner.
And like before,
Go to
Yeko
dinner.
still needs to eat. She'll make sure Johnny's awake first.
oh yeah.
'Cause if he's asleep, she would stay there and skip dinner because she said she would guard the door.
No, I'm awake.
Then dinner it is.
Who looks more tired, us or the host?
The host is surprisingly actually much more active than he was this morning.
He fell asleep in his lab and woke up.
Had a good night, good power nap in between deadly experiments.
Falls
Yeah.
asleep in the middle of deadly experiments. Be unfortunate.
The key to doing this experiment right is you gotta have real shaky hands.
You do this experiment right is to make sure that you're as tired as possible, so all of the measurements are fucked. Like, for instance, was this supposed to be 1 cup or 1 liter? Maybe it was a tablespoon. I don't remember. So we're gonna do all 3.
You gotta be half delirious for it really to work.
Well, he is active and apparently happy enough that he is willing to share some of his stock of more interesting things. As he gives you guys something that he calls shaved ice.
Mm.
It's literally just shaved ice, but they do put a little bit of berry juice on them, so they're not just
No, I
ice.
needed to shave.
Yep.
What is
It's
shaved
something that
ice?
apparently he invented, probably not, but he claims he invented as a
Claims he
child.
invented. I want to incite that.
As far as he knows, he invented it.
Damn.
Yeah, got the recipe from TikTok.
Yeah, from TikTok.
You got the recipe from the distant year of 2004.
But other than that, dinner is once again, it's fine. The food is serviceable. It's food.
Pretty serviceable.
He, while more active, is not more communicative, though. He does not really talk until you kind of, well, poke him into discussing things.
Oh wait, who is this? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
This is the necromancer,
Our host.
Svino.
Host is gonna be
I was gonna be like, so what's that weird thing that tried to get me with its tongue in the forbidden laboratory?
We go, hey, so why'd you lie about the Watcher?
I mean, honestly,
Aw.
Mo
We
just
could take
opens his mouth,
We could take
Gouvet
this
looking over.
overblown grad student.
Yeah, If Bo opens their mouth and I think something bad's gonna happen, I'm gonna be glaring the fucking most daggers that have ever been seen on Earth.
Just point the
You
gun.
will
Rage.
Not see it.
Oh no, you're gonna feel when the fucking cis bites you though.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Moose opens her mouth and hears a click behind her.
Bo opens the mouth and hears a fucking hammer being pulled back under the table and goes, huh.
That's
I
weird.
think I've heard that before, except it's usually punctuated by and then the gun goes off.
It's that magic thing that Kupe carries.
Oh, fire stick. Oh.
Oh, magic gun thing.
Or Johnny tried to make a gun out of forks and a potato.
Yes.
Good times.
I don't, but hell yeah.
So, are any of you guys asking him legitimately, or
Are you kidding me? I want nothing to do with this guy.
Yeah, no.
well, I figured you two weren't,
Behavior.
so I'm more directing it to Guve,
This
but
place is scary.
Yeah, why weren't you telling the full truth about the Watcher the other day?
Oh god.
The eyeball monster.
If
You weren't
if
telling the
there's
full truth.
the picture a person being as focused as possible on their cutlery. That's Johnny right now. He's just all cutlery.
he just kind of looks up, like some of his meat just kind of halfway to his mouth. I don't quite understand. What do you mean?
Well, the other day, not when we first arrived here, day after we first arrived, I asked you about a weird eyeball monster, and you said you hadn't seen it. But you were definitely not told the full truth.
Well, I suppose it's because I didn't see it. I will say I did know it was there, yes, but I did not see it myself, no.
Mm-hmm. Did it just go straight through here?
Just kind of thinks about it. I'm not sure exactly. I was busy with projects, and I did notice something disrupted. I believe Ray told me that something came through and damaged something, but I didn't think it was a big deal. There's plenty of things damaged around here. Just one more thing to fix.
We look at what it damaged by chance, or is that in one of the off limits areas?
Just looks over at Delphos, who once again is here. Rhea, however, is still elsewhere. Delphos just kind of
There
thinks
are
for a moment.
off-limits areas.
Shooting daggers.
He just kind of nods. I did tell you that there were certain areas that it would be best to avoid.
Oh. Okay.
Scuffed.
Delphos finally pulls a single piece of parchment out. Ah, yes. It was one of the storage rooms, I believe, near the library.
Hmm.
I can show you it. It isn't much to look at, though.
I'll check it anyway.
Necromancer just kind of nods. It is good if that eases your mind. No. I mean, what are you trying to get out of him?
I'm not sure. Just something about that seems weird. I just rolled inside on instinct.
Instinct.
When in doubt, roll insight.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean,
I guess it was whether he had anything, whether this really was all that there was to do with him and the eye monster. But
I mean, as far as you can tell, yeah, that's all.
Alright.
He was, all his connection with it.
good enough.
Mm-hmm.
We'll know when we hit the torture segment later.
What do you store in your storage room? My guests. Oh no.
So, yep. Dinner proceeds. If you guys don't ask him anything else, then he just eats in silence. Otherwise,
He eats in the silence.
no.
I'll allow him to eat in silence this time.
I mean, this is your last day here. After this, you're leaving.
That's what you think.
Heavens.
We're homesteading this place.
Yeah. So after dinner is finished, Delphos is willing to take you up now, or if you wish to go in the morning.
Yeah, might as well do it now.
So, yep. Is it only you two, or everyone?
Given that this is directly relevant to our purpose, Johnny would go with, but he would be fucking antsy.
Oyeko's in the same boat, except she is, rather than antsy, more prickly and irritated about the entire situation.
So he leads you up through a set of stairs and to a room that probably once had a door. It is fairly thoroughly smashed. The room itself has a whole bunch of basically piles of wood at this point. Very obviously smashed in lots of places. There is mysteriously one little corner at the back where there is a single chair that seems to be like safe from the carnage. Delphos just kind of swings a hand out. As you can see, this is the room. It was not exactly in good shape to begin with, but at least we still had shelves. I've now had to move so many things from here to elsewhere. So many broken bottles. Shivers.
I was gonna be looking around for anything of interest in here.
I too will look around for anything of interest.
Oyeko will sort of stand for a bit, not say anything, sigh, and then go check out the chair.
All right. Are you looking through the wood pile just in general? For those who are looking.
Just in general. I'll look through. I'm going to more or less like look through the entire room over time.
Yep. I mean, taking a quick peek, you can obviously see the wood, of course. It probably was shelves at one point. It's broken, like beyond repair at this point. Most of the shelves have either been snapped in half or 2 or 3 places. And the main kind of like arms of it have been completely dusted. Along with a selection of glass shards. There were probably bottles of something in here. Their contents have spilled everywhere. Thankfully, nothing flammable, apparently. So, the unpleasant smell coming from the wood pile probably is not a good sign of what was in them. As for the chair, it is strangely not dusty at all. Like, recently sat in.
Was anyone in here recently?
Well, we've had dregs moving in and out of it.
But like the chair, I mean, would anyone sat in the chair?
Not that I can recall. The only one that would really do it would be the master, and, well, he has plenty of other chairs. No reason to sit in the random storage room on the second floor, of course.
Mhm.
And, well, me and Rhea don't really feel the need.
That's weird.
That we don't sit down?
No, not that.
He looks
It's not-
relieved.
It's nothing.
Mo chimes in. I saw you and the fish man playing chess.
You can't
Yep.
hide from me. I know everything.
Yeah, well, peeking through the boards, you do find a couple of more interesting things. A couple of vials that are not damaged, along with a small group of shedded scales, which seem to be the right color and size.
Right color and size for what?
For the Watcher.
The Watcher, okay.
Mm-hmm. You also find. Yeah, I'm gonna. 16.
Why did you boot up Civ 6? Out of curiosity.
I've had it booted up for a while now. I was just fiddling around with mods, seeing what crashes.
Oh.
I'll
Yep.
take a look at the vials that aren't
Mhm.
smashed.
They seem to be filled with, well, alchemical something or other. In particular, they seem to be filled with a kind of silvery powder.
Excuse me, do you know what this is?
Just kind of looks at it. I would guess silver dust, but I'm not an alchemist, so.
That's Quicksilver.
Shrugs.
Breathe some in. Breathe in. Yes, it's poisonous. What?
It makes you really quick.
Makes you really quick. Quickly into your grave. You're gonna die in 5 minutes.
I just love the taste of mercury, you know? It's just so good.
True.
Slurp, slurp.
It wouldn't be mercury because this is powdery, not liquid. But
If it was insanely cold, it could be mercury.
it's not insanely cold, though.
How would you know?
Because I know what the temperature
got
is.
Most one has got the vial, not you, Mitchell.
Yes, but Mo doesn't control the temperature in this universe.
Not yet.
All right, so vowels with powder, watch your scales.
So until we hit Godbound again.
There could be one.
Then
We're
he
not
was.
in Godbound again.
Thank God.
Different universe for that. I've already said Metzerum is part of a different universe. It's not part
Yeah,
of that.
that's some kooky.
It's not part of a. Well, it can't ever connect to Orivon. It's a different universe.
Different timeline.
Or in a different timeline.
Different universes timeline.
Yep. Yeah. If you wish to search the room, you can roll investigation, but that's what you find just by looking.
I have somewhat of a working theory.
I'll also point out the
Bear my working
scales
theory.
to Gavay.
Yep,
If-
they sure are scales.
If we suspect that the Watcher did come,
You recognize the scales once they're pointed out.
Yeah.
You don't find them.
and this is the second time we've encountered a room with dust from over a week ago that's still like completely fresh.
Because refresh my memory, Mitchell, but in the barn, the footprints in the dust there were also like nearly brand new. It seemed like, right?
It was in the farmhouse, but yes, those footprints had been there for no time at all.
So this thing, it's almost like it's
It
distorting.
detects that we're getting
time?
close and then leaves.
Distorting space.
I don't know.
What space?
Once you're distorting
Not
space,
Space. but
you're
space
distorting
is
time.
Like the space things move through. Like my sword takes up a lot of space when I swing it.
Also, this is extra interesting because it wasn't always like this. Like there are multiple tracks where we actually had tracks, and it was like, yep, these are like fucking a week old at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Begs the question, why?
To fuck with us.
Maybe to get through physical barriers, it blinks short distances.
Oyeko's gonna take an arrow out and just kind of poke it into the chair.
The air explodes.
The chair and arrow react as you'd expect. It pokes the chair.
Mo will sit in the chair.
Oh,
Yep.
roll
It's a chair.
chair saving throw.
It's a little
So the
big
arrow
for you, but it's a
snaps it.
chair.
Son of a bitch.
But why would it even sit in a chair? Like, what does it gain from that?
Well, surely the chair was brought into the room afterwards, or was the chair here?
Right, them sitting in the chair would just remove literally all of the dust from the chair.
Unless it
Well,
wiped it off before it sat.
It's gonna wipe down the entire chair.
What, with a handkerchief? No, I interpreted this to mean surely the chair was used frequently elsewhere, and then more recently it was brought into this room, perhaps when it was being. You said you had to move a bunch of things and like, clean up a bit. Perhaps someone who was doing the cleaning had to sit down. I don't know.
Seeing as most of the cleaning was done by dregs or other creatures of that nature, I don't think they needed to sit down.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're tired. It was a long day.
They don't tire. It's one of the brilliant things about them.
I absolutely hate this.
Curious.
I think it's very curious at all. I thought that all evidence pointed to them hating this.
Sorry, say again?
And don't worry about it.
Alright. I won't worry about it.
Yeah, bitch, that's right.
Get
Yes.
fucked. Absolutely blown the fuck out.
So, what's the plan? Head back to the room and rest for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
Rest, he says.
Imagine resting in the room and not just sleeping in the library.
Imagine sleeping. Could not be me.
Yeah, sleep is pretty cringe. Just trance, brainlet.
Ooh.
Why didn't I think of that?
Says the dog man, who definitely does not trance.
Can a human do enough yoga to be able to elf trance?
No.
Yes.
But are you guys done with this scene?
I think so.
Yeah.
Johnny's out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm. So, yep.
Well, I guess I'll take the scales.
Yeah, you can collect them.
If I can.
Now
slip
we
one-
throw the chair at Pathos.
If I
And
can, like, kind of slip one of the vials, I'll try and do that.
Yeah, you can hide it pretty easily. It doesn't seem like he's paying all that close attention.
What's he paying attention to while we're in here?
Mostly to his papers. He's muttering about like a bunch of different things he has going on. So you are just one of the many tasks he has lined up.
All right, well, I will check myself off his list and leave the room.
I don't think that checks you off of his list. Because we're still in the fucking castle.
Yeah.
Yep.
One day.
Final night of the Month comes and goes.
And
Oh,
one more con save for the boys.
Yep. You're staying up.
Woo!
We're up to 2 levels of exhaustion. Ooh!
Johnny makes it though.
Second wind.
Doesn't he have disadvantage at this point though?
I have 2 levels of exhaustion.
I
before the
still
save.
has two.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I thought he had 3, but I miscalculated.
Fuck it. I have
Just-
3. I'll roll again.
You do have 3?
Sure.
I
Whatever.
don't think you do.
It's more
I'm
fun
pretty
this
sure you
way.
have 2.
No, I'm so sick with it. Who cares?
All right, take your free level 4.
No. What? Does it go up?
If you're at level 3 and you just failed the save, yeah, it goes up to 4.
Did I? What's the save?
For your
Now,
your third day awake is 20.
It's 20?
yeah,
It goes up by
Yeah.
5 every night you stay up.
Oh.
Lumpy, you definitely did not have 3 levels of exhaustion.
Well,
Yeah.
they thought I did. So I figured, fuck it.
pretty sure you had 2.
No, because he got mixed up because you succeeded on one and I failed on one. And he thought it was the other way around.
Oh.
You're still at 2. You succeeded this.
I was just running off of the thing that was said earlier, which was that you get disadvantage when you get your third level, which is now.
Oh, no.
So, yep, the morning comes.
All right, let's get out of here.
Breakfast first. Breakfast and then
It
leave.
is a little different, as Delphos is waiting outside your room when you awaken.
Oh shit. No breakfast, I guess. Rip.
So, he leads you guys to the front door and wishes you well.
Are our horses like mega cursed? Or are they good?
So they're actually skeletal.
Skeletons.
No, they're not skeletons.
We took the liberty of improving our steeds.
Rage seems perfectly fine. Like, in fact, he seems kind of like well rested at this
How
point.
is spaceship?
The other 2 horses are a little less well rested. They're not quite so happy with resting with, well, undead horses. The pony is not rested at all. It's terrified, and has been since you stabled it.
What level of exhaustion does it have?
Let's see.
6.
How many times does it fail?
It's dead.
Let's see. Well, it's fine for the first night. First level, second level. So yeah, no, it's tired. Well, I mean, it could still carry you.
It's carrying bone. He weighs what? 15 pounds? She
Yeah.
weighs 15 pounds.
Mo is very light.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
And 15 pounds soaking wet. Christ.
So, yep. Where are you guys headed? Wandering around the castle to follow the line?
Yeah, we're leaving ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you walk around the castle, or ride around the castle, and continue following the line.
Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be a lot worse than it was.
I can't wait for us to hit the ocean.
Would have been.
How close are we now?
Pretty close.
Fuck. You hit
Well,
the ocean
soup
and
is
watch
pretty
is just gonna
close.
be fucking. It's just gonna be standing on the beach, just watching the sunset. Because maybe I don't want to be a bad guy anymore.
I've been waiting. What took you guys so long?
I've been waiting, and he gestures over to the picnic they set up.
Coke's propped up with a glass of tea in his dead hands. I set places for you.
So You guys continue traveling through the plains, moving
Oh,
up out of
imagine
this
bringing
little.
our friends and smacks the dead body in the side of the head, knocking it over.
Yeah, moving out of this little valley, and continuing onward.
On the road again.
On the toad again.
No, we don't have the toad. Sadly, Frog's still gone.
Mhm.
I'll get him back.
That it's a frog. It's not a toad.
It's
Shut
frog.
up.
It's frog.
He can swim, but
Yeah.
he's also small and slimy. But regardless,
Instead of bumpy like a toad.
yeah.
Haven't been encountering much Fade nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice and peaceful.
So you guys travel away from it, and at about 2 or 3, you guys cross into a more forested area. Still very flat, but at least you have trees, which is a nice change of scenery. And the bird population, of course, increases as you'd expect in a more forested area. And eventually, night falls.
Sleep time.
And with it, the first day of winter. Which is a trio of moons out tonight. Yeah. Shalak, Falak, and Parlak are out. Mix of purple, silver, and black covering the skyline.
I'm sleeping deep.
Mm-hmm.
Oyeka will still take first watch, but sleep after it.
Second
Yeah.
watch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's still doing third watch for sure.
Mo is helping. All right.
My favorite part is the one who RPs the least is also the one who has the rotating watch cycle.
Yep.
So RP just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Kind of.
you get to see who he doesn't RP with that night. You know.
For real.
So, could you guys roll for me tonight?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Good start.
LOP is disadvantage. Hey, don't hurry. You got disadvantage too, Lumpy.
Oh,
Mm.
wait, that too? No, because
Yeah.
the perception is after my sleep, right?
Yeah, disadvantage
you
is
get
still
one.
check the first one.
That's a one level of exhaustion gives disadvantage on abilities.
Okay. So,
Boy, I sure hope nothing happens during watch 1 or 2.
would you like my 17 or a 17?
Ooh, look at you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
consistent
Well,
crank.
Oyeko, thankfully, in your tired state, even not being able to pay very close attention with your eyes like attempting to frickin' close themselves early, nothing assaults your camp. And so your watch ends without problems.
Now, Johnny, you wake up and Gouvet's dead.
God.
So, Gouvet, the first hour or so of your watch is boring.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see anything. You're in the woods. However, at around halfway or so, all of a sudden, you see that the camp seems to be slightly surrounded by just a wall of impenetrable darkness.
Fucking hate it here. And I grab my gun.
It seems to be slowly encroaching.
And I start waking up party members.
It's pretty slow. It's only traveling like about a foot a minute, so you got some
It's
time.
fucked. Wake up.
Will it get here before my watch starts?
What?
Yes.
Yes, easily.
Shit's fucked. Wake up.
It'll reach the campfire in 20 minutes.
And I'm
So.
going to throw a torch at it.
What is
Well,
it?
the torch moves through the wall. It does not improve the lighting any.
There's a wall of encroaching darkness.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
this
I
point, it's
use
about
my
19
Stop
feet away.
the darkness spell. Yeah, what do you? I guess I just wait for it to get to me.
All right, then fucking go back to sleep.
You could try punching it.
I just thought I should fucking let you guys know that this is happening before I do what I do next, and I then walk into the darkness.
Hey, God.
You walk into the darkness, and it's dark. You can't see anything.
I'm gonna
Oyeko
just keep
will
walking
wait for a
forward
moment
like,
and walk in.
I don't know, a minute or so.
Gouvet, Gouvet, wait.
Johnny will sigh. Then do the same.
Gouvet.
I'm assuming I can hear Oyeko saying Gouvet, wait.
Yeah, you can hear him fine. The darkness
I'm fine.
it's
Give me a
not-
minute.
Here.
I don't want. We really shouldn't be alone in the dark, so get over here.
I'm not alone. I got 2 pets.
Gavin,
Yeah, I don't.
What?
I mean, Sis is just hanging out near the fire, as is its usual.
Damn, I lost my pet.
Yeah, the crow's just hanging out with you though. It likes to hang out in your, well, on your pack or on you while you're on watch.
All right,
It
we still
does
got
seem-
Heath. Easy.
It seems completely chilled out, by the way, on this darkness.
Yeah.
And then, a foot in front of your face, you see a light burst, blinking several times before fading back out.
And I presumably fall backwards, having just been fucking flashbanged.
Yes. You fall back out of the darkness, blinking rapidly.
Oh, fuck. What did I do to deserve that?
Hmm?
I got flashbanged.
What? What do you mean?
There wasn't much bang, though. Mostly just flash.
I'm assuming this didn't happen to me.
No.
So skip one. How blind am I right now?
wanna be.
Roll a con save, I guess. We'll see how blind you are.
All right. Moderately blind.
You're just disoriented. So, not blind.
All right.
Able to blink out the lights, at least enough to be able to see.
Hearing that Guve got flung out of the darkness, Oyeko's gonna try to find her way out.
I mean, it's easy enough to find your way back out to the thing. Also, when that happened, it seems like the wall decided to stop.
Gavin, yo.
Johnny, you know my name.
Right?
That's gonna be funny until it's not. All right. Yep. So, Gouvet, as you're blinking the light out of your eyes, looking into the darkness, you see the same light pulse again.
Does that look familiar?
Yeah, it does, in fact. And in this case, Johnny and Mo, if you guys are up, you also see the light. Basically, anyone in the camp site at this point.
Yeah, Mo stayed back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looks like a massive starburst on this wall.
Yo, I love Starburst. They're so
Time to go up to the light
What flavors you
once
got?
I have undisoriented myself.
Yeah, let me know when I
Star
get
flavor.
out.
Did I get out of the darkness before it pulsated, or what?
Yeah, you would have most likely only taken a few steps into the darkness. So
Gouvet, don't.
I do not stop my movement.
yeah, the wall seems to vanish as you take a step towards the light, and the lights once again pulse in the distance. This time, you seem to be the only one that's able to see it.
Gouvet, do you
Yeah.
want me to come with you?
No.
I mean, you come with me when I go on my demon hunting adventures.
Yeah, it's because yours usually involve danger. These guys just want to fuck with me.
Demon hunting? Can I
Also,
come?
someone got kidnapped from you.
Yeah,
I just got
go-
flashbanged.
Go for it, Johnny. Honestly, right now, I don't think I can keep up with Goofy.
Yeah, with that I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Oyeko will kind of just tiredly walk back to camp and just flop back to sleep.
Just as a kind of additional note before I move over to Gouvet, your icicle seems to be slightly melting. Just slightly. It is still mostly in one piece, but it is melting a little bit.
Hmm?
As soon as I notice that, I'll start sprinting after Gouvet.
No. You try. Unfortunately, Gouvet is gone.
Damn it.
I mean, it doesn't help. You're running around in the woods in the dark.
So
Dark
good at
vision.
all.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Back to sleep then. We'll figure out the case of this melting icicle in the morning.
As before, Gouvet, you follow the lights to the first, and then, of course, they jump to another area, and you find
Yep.
your way back into the Grove of Dreamwood. Along with the trio of sisters, apparently.
Howdy.
Stepping into the grove itself, Spring seems to be her usual self, happy and smiling.
Okay.
Summer is not, well, Summer was never really pleased, but at least she was somewhat happy.
Summer is now hose mad. I repeat, Summer is hose mad.
She's definitely not got a smile on her face. Her lips are just a kind of flat line. And Winter is freaking furious. And very clearly states so once you get close enough to really hear the conversation going on as she directs her first comment at you. What the fuck are you doing, mortal?
What do you mean? What have I done? I was the one who's flashbanged.
First, you ruin the game. Then, you ignore an invitation. Are you asking to die?
Game. What invitation?
You've seen all the other ones. What, did you just feel like ignoring this one?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, after I forcibly asked. A lady should never have to ask for their invitation to be accepted.
I fucking came as fast as I could. What am I supposed to see through the wall of physical darkness?
You wouldn't
My bad.
see through the wall of darkness had you seen the first invitation. Idiot. Spring just kind of waves at her. Oh, calm down, calm down. I'm sure she was just tired. She didn't have to go into that awful, awful place. You really shouldn't have left, though. It does kind of ruin the game.
What game?
Why? The game with the Watcher, of course.
Are we supposed to turn back around to the castle then?
Well, you're surely not finding anything in the direction you're going. Summer speaks up. You've run out of tracks. And then you find some and decide to ignore them. I thought you were a ranger.
Listen, this has been a tiring few weeks.
Tiring enough that we should perhaps just ignore you and move on?
That's your choice, isn't it? From what I understand, demons are fickle.
Spring just kind of leans over to you. She was betting quite a bit on you. She's just very displeased about your current performance.
I'll try better in the future, I guess.
Look, we don't get very many opportunities to mess with such a creature as the Watcher. Mortals, you're a dime a dozen. But that thing? He just kind of shivers with delight. We don't get to mess with that. Not since Mother.
So, what? You're messing through me vicariously?
Well, of course we are. Winter speaks up. We can't do it normally. Laws forbid contests of that nature with creatures of that type. You have to use mortals. It's part of the rule.
So we go back to castle, look around, try and find the Watcher, and then presumably get our ass beat by a necromancer who really doesn't want us there.
Well, it would be best not to have that happen, but I suppose it's up to you, right? If you really want to do that, then no, there's nothing stopping you. Also, if you meet her daughter again, could you tell her to butt out? She's kind of also ruining things. There's nothing we can do, but she's kind of, well, she's being a little prude and all. It's very unfortunate.
Her daughter? You're talking
Yes.
about Frog?
Yeah,
Okay.
Frog. He kind of puts up quotes.
So, should
Frog.
I meet Frog, and I'll put it in quote, or Frog's parent, mother, whatever the hell, I shall inform them that you all would like them to butt out.
Yes, exactly.
But I have a feeling this is going to turn out poorly for me.
It will.
You have a good
I'd be-
sense. No, you have things to do, as do we. Summer just kind of waves at you, dismissing. They just go back to whichever conversation they were talking about before.
I guess I turn to leave.
You're able to leave the grove without any issues and find yourself a few feet from camp in the darkness.
All right. You two better go over your prudishness real fast because we're going back to the fucking
Oyeko's
castle.
asleep.
True.
Already back to sleep.
That's fine. I'll say it to them while they're asleep. I don't give a fuck. Because then I will just say I informed them earlier.
Yep. But that is where we're going to end tonight.
All right. Nope.
Excuse me.
Fourth encounter. Fifth encounter. Summer. Pissed. Winter. Pissed.
To assault the castle.
Castle.
Please don't try and assault it. It will only end in tears for you.
Oh, no, that's what they even said. So, what choice do we have?
Insulted me to my face multiple times.
You want to
Oh, yeah.
It will
Uh,
sneak in.
Me to
Mhm.
vicariously fuck over the Watcher. Well, at least that means we got someone in our corner. Even if it's only so way they can be in the corner opposite to the other person.
No, they're not even in our corner. They're in your corner.
Fucking true, I guess.
They're telling Frog to fuck. Yeah, get the hell out of here. I hate all of them now.
I don't think they were specifically telling Frog to fuck off. I think they were telling Frog's mother to fuck off.
That's okay. Frog's mother was very nice to me.
No?
Yes.
No.
Frog's mother.
Oh, yeah. I should actually also write that down.
Frog's mother played me pleasant music, dragged me into the sewers, and then said, "Yeah, you're free to go, homie. Have a frog." And I was like, "Thanks, Frog's mom."
Fuck off.
Yeah. She got in her fun.
That
Doesn't murder
bird is a
people.
total.
Also, the good news is I found out that all it takes for them to just speak clearly is to make them angry. They're too fed up to be cryptic.
Yep. Yeah, that was the. You rolled a 1 on a perception
Yeah.
check to like see something obvious.
Yeah, not great.
So Winter had to make it even more obvious.
You know, I was like, you know what? This fucking darkness is probably because of them. I'll just fucking accept this. And then they flashbanged me, the sons of bitches. I was like, fine, I get it. And then they decide to fuck with me, bastards.
As you said, you made her freaking invite you twice.
Fucking keep it up. I'll make her invite me 3 times.
You really don't want to
Also,
do that.
I thought this was a fucking. Before, when we were talking about how I was like invited, I was like, well, yeah, you were invited, but you were also the one who decided to come. Now that they decided, no, it's not a invitation, it's a demand in the form of an invitation.
Yeah.
Absolute bastards. Make up your fucking mind.
You've been invited too many times. It's too late. You now have to accept the invitation.
I've accepted the invitation too many times. It's no longer an invitation.
Come now and listen to your betters yell at you.
Next time I don't accept, I'm gonna fucking get an armed escort. It's not gonna be for outside threats.
See the wall of darkness appear again. Not going this time. Demons just walk out of the wall.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
see
you
the wall of
go and
darkness
stop
appear.
them.
Go, you know what? No, fuck you guys. And then arms are gonna start coming out of the darkness.
Made me forcefully invite you.
You have been invited. Please do not resist.
I am gonna have to dip for at least a little bit. I have a couple of things of homework I need to do before midnight.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
we're
these professors-
done. So.
These professors are assholes, and when I submit things late, they mark it as late.
Absolute bastards for all of them.
Those dicks. It's fucked up. But yeah, thank you for session. Had fun.
Mm,
Yes.
I'll talk to y'all in the future.
yep.
Hopefully.
Don't die.
Ta-ta.
I will have to take a break for the whole night to go to sleep.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Good night, my friends.
Good night, good luck, don't die.
Good luck and don't die. I suppose I can end the recording here.
Also, man, how great that